Okay, we've got BBL on defense. We got FUT on attack.
Survival. It's the name of the game here today. Revenge
And
as well.
we got nothing crazy.
Each other once a year since partnership began.
Dude, why do you think FUT are having such a rough time recently?
The stakes couldn't be higher. One team will be exiting their
He was
Masters
not
run.
shooting, maybe?
Attempt to get there.
Yeah, okay.
In Jeopardy 11. Oh, he kept going aggressive.
But in general, I
and
actually
pays
don't
the
know.
price. With the punish early and a 4v3 as a reward.
I expected them to be better.
From the side
yeah,
of BBL,
same.
2 players already.
Maybe just other teams are
in
better,
that site.
I'm not gonna lie. Because a lot of good teams nowadays.
Looking to wrap back around.
Yeah,
So the force will be
way more than normal.
Shot at least from Prophet to do some damage. Yumpy picking up one as well, but it's Yedaje to trade. Left all on to Magnum.
Big 1v1.
Cypher versus Cypher.
Dude, Magnum's been playing
first
like a
clutch
beast
needed.
recently.
Within this matchup, to take that pistol across the board, but there's still time
I can
to
say
play.
what I
That's
think
the
about
thing for
Magnum
Yedaje. He doesn't
after
need
it
to
finishes.
overface this.
Yeah,
Doesn't
wait
need
for him to win
risk it.
first.
But the same can be said for his counterpart.
So I think it was Mini, and I hate to agree with Mini, but I think Mini said he's playing the best Valorant that we've seen him play, and I think I have to agree.
But Magnum waits long enough
1
that he could
million.
have wrapped up into heaven. Yedaje has a decision to make, and not a lot of
Beast,
time
man.
to make
Okay,
it. Magnum
nice.
swinging
Bro,
in deep,
Magnum,
and the pistol round
like, you know, if there would be a award for like
BBL.
most improved player, like it would be Magnum.
Solid
Okay,
start
yeah.
for them. And then
think
something
that's
to
fair.
mention, obviously, the composition.
But it-
Like Magnum on KC and Magnum on BBL are like two completely different players.
Yeah, but this is kind of what I've been talking about a little bit when it's him, because he always looked, you know, when he was on Fnatic and he was just he was a Sentinel. I didn't have to call, didn't have to do any of that stuff. Just purely played Sentinel and didn't have to think about anything else. That was when he was like at his best, in my opinion. And then now he's kind of back to a similar role. And then I hated the K-Cup stuff because I feel like they just forced him to be IGL. I don't know if that actually happened, but that's what it felt like. He's just
Usually the
non-IGL.
situation for 50-50 is like, we need an IGL and he's like, well, okay, I guess.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
that.
Sure, I'll do
Somebody
it.
has to, I'll do it.
Yeah. It's one of those. That doesn't really work these days. I will say, like, the player turned IGL hasn't really worked out that well for a lot of teams. You get a few, like Nats, but I think it's normally just like outliers.
Most of their battles, 3 players with light shields.
Not Yampy.
An outlaw of their own in play.
Yampy's worked
The
well,
C-side
yeah.
seems to be the target. Not that much
Yampy
of a surprise.
Yampy always had like,
Already a bit of a main
I think
control,
actually both of them,
given away.
like maybe I know both of them a bit better than some of the others, so I can't say for some of the others, but both of them have like leadership qualities.
It's
Or
going to put Yedaje in an awkward position next round if there's not a significant amount of damage done here. Of course, for Zeus, he'll still have their headhunter bullets anyway.
okay,
Already look at the
force
depth
of
control
a
that's
outlaw,
been taken
heavy armor, and
in
they're
a
just
round like
waiting
this.
for
So
picks
you're
at the
talking
moment.
about a team that is mostly going to be.
I don't like this 5 people buying.
And BBL have gone
Anti-eco.
close up into very aggressive angles around their main. And that's why you
As
can already
in
see
the
that
outlaw
early
thing, or?
rotation, having players in
No, like,
position
I
On
mean,
defense.
all 5 of
around
BBL
this
bought,
C-site.
like, no pistols.
See, I don't mind it on defense, man. I'm seeing so many. I think what I prefer is 3 rifles, 1 save pistol, and a Marshall. That's like my sweet spot.
Yes. Exactly. I think Marshall is so OP.
Marshall's broken in these. And the fact it's so cheap, you just throw it away.
It's similar to Stinger. You can also, in theory,
that's the. If anything, they
like,
upgraded.
Stinger is so cheap.
They picked up an outlaw
I mean, you don't really
and
throw
threw
away
the
Stinger. There is
Spectre,
no
so
point.
Yeah,
if
that's true.
anything, they've come out of that round better than they
I mean,
would have done. Now,
Stingers
you
are insane.
understand the concept for FUT. Any player that invests into a rifle a lot of the time is not going to have those heavy shields available. So
I mean, you guys have Mini Boo anyway. Mini Boo loves the Marshall.
You know as well
Yeah.
that he's going to be saving up. The interesting thing as well is a lot of the time we talk about this guy not using the operator.
Dude,
He's
double
picked an agent
double
whose main thing
outlaw.
is getting a
I
free
mean, if
operator.
they
So
go together, I guess they
it's
gotta.
it's a bit of a weird
Guess
choice
they
even
gotta
for him.
And maybe he's going
up
to be
here.
no-scoping with that. I'm not too sure that I want to see that.
This is something interesting, and I think FUT do have to rely on this a little bit. They use weird comps a lot of the time, but normally they have some like cool stuff with them. I think the chamber trip to take places and get info is good. It's definitely good on Garage. You can clear the whole of Garage with 1 trip. They use it already a little bit aggro over towards short to see if anyone goes aggro on short. They got the information and they kind of know that he's over there. But it's definitely something that FUT have to do with this comp. The comp does struggle on attack. No doubt. I had no doubt about it.
This is gonna be a flawless.
Get out of this scenario. In fact, this cracks. A 2-for-1 discount.
It's like the most
As he'll take
perfect
down
Perfect
Two
start.
of the remaining three, only Magnum left
How,
standing with the rifle in hand. There is
How
a
excited you to
question
get
of whether or
out
not
of the
he can
Teo
save,
meta?
especially now after losing half of his HP. He stopped the
Life
flawless,
couldn't be better.
but other than that, yeah, I think it's just going to be an attempt to hold onto the gun.
Like, honestly, like, it's so
Certainly
good.
looks like
The thing
it.
is, we didn't even rely on
Right
it too
call for
much.
BBL,
Yeah,
ceding that
So
round
we're
over
not
to
like
FUT.
getting.
Completely
Wanted to
wrecked.
come out of this with a little bit
Yeah.
more damage, though, no doubt. And one of the things that
But yeah, the
sort of
game
look at as
just
this game
became
goes on is Zeus
a bit less enjoyable.
playing
Like,
on the chamber here,
start of the
but
year.
also
Yeah.
in this matchup,
Yeah, no
somewhere that he was shut down
I mean, it is-
previously. We saw the longest game in history
it's actually fun
of
when we win
VCT,
rounds with,
longest map,
you
rather.
know,
And
the
I
missiles
think
and
he ended
stuff.
up with 22
But when you
kills.
play
was
against
his
it, it's like,
worst performance of
there's no chance.
Tier 1.
Yeah,
Like, you
yeah.
know that you lost the
Facing
round
off against
before you lose
BBL,
the round.
Magnum's
Yeah.
done incredibly
I think
well,
that's
though.
the same thing when I'm watching as well.
Like, you
Dude,
look at
Magnum's
this
You see
does
that
so
Magnum
much
does
damage.
work.
potentially being flawless until
He
they
does
walked
so
into
much
Magnum, but his
damage. Magnum's
late
just
wrap
farming
round,
him.
okay, he'll lose the gun in
Yeah,
the end,
dude,
but
it's just not fun to
taking
watch as well.
away
Like, you'll look at a
extra weapons as he
clutch, and then
goes,
you'll
he's
look
done an
over there, and you'll be
impeccable
like, well,
job.
he's
That was it.
got
The point
Teo
was, you know, you see him
salvos.
exiting
Like, it's
towards
done.
the spawn, towards C,
It's so
with 4
annoying.
players still alive. Like, oh, they would have wanted a little
Especially
bit
on
more
maps like
damage out of that.
Fracture. Like,
Well, that's
Fracture
definitely
just-
highlighted by the fact
honestly,
he goes rapping
when
all
Fracture
the way
came
around,
back,
waits for them,
our
and
whole
with
team
a
was
huge punish.
super excited
You know, I was
because
worried there. It took Frax a
all of
while
us
to
love
get that
Fracture.
kill on the board, but he ends up
And
with
then
a
we
collateral.
realized
That
slowly that
seems to have set
it's
them
not
up
the
with
same
a
Fracture
safe
anymore.
round.
Yeah.
The
Like,
punishment
it's
is
this
there.
new
And so
Fracture
FUT, they have to
of
strain their
Teo,
economy. They're
and like,
investing heavy.
I don't know,
They
in
still
defense, if
have
you
a
don't
stinger
do
to
crazy
play
stuff,
with alongside
you
this
probably lose
investment.
all the
A
rounds.
huge play
Yeah,
by
you
Magnum.
gotta
A triple
you
kill
gotta
in the pistol
aggro. You
round
gotta
as
start
well. His
pushing
impact on this
reactively
series
everywhere
already
or
is
randomly.
Yeah, he's already got 9
Yes.
kills.
Dude, the after
Because
plant
before it
stuff
was
is
It's whether
more
or
like
not they
maybe
can
info,
now
maybe slow
make that
play.
damage
Now you just
worthwhile.
okay, guys, let's
You
go
might be the
B.
guy running away
yeah.
with
Let's
now
be
compared to
spam.
their
Have we
previous
got a
series.
Brim and a
Social
Teo
went
alive, or we won the round?
26-4 versus
Yeah.
mates. Probably one of the best performances we've seen all season from any player.
Okay, big
think
round.
towards
Let's
the
build
end,
this one up a little
recreate
bit. We've got
something
1,
like that
2,
again.
3,
Definitely a little
4.
bit more
1,
difficult
2,
to do on
3,
the
4. The
server,
combine next. Wait, that's 5.
Seems to make
Can't
it
count.
work. Another
9
man
people
who's
to
a
combine.
maestro of this over is Mr. Fallen, though. And definitely a highlight on him with this sort of composition.
Maybe they get 3 people on site to defend this one. This is the problem with the FUT comp. As soon as these smokes come down, like I don't even know how they really get through this unless like Cracks wants to just wall up and send it. Insert one over towards short, and well, this could work out well though. Pivot over towards B with the lurk on short.
He's going to hope to find himself that late lurk, that player getting aggressive.
Such a good call.
For now,
Yeah, that's a really nice goal.
nothing to be claimed by him, but his team have gotten the plant.
I think they're aware of weaknesses of the comp,
To see if anyone
Yeah.
makes a mistake.
like fully.
If Mr. Fallon gets a kill here, he gets a Sovro as well, and honestly, I think that might be the end of the round, so that's a huge kill from Profec being ready for this lurk.
Fallen's lurk has been eliminated. It now just becomes down to the defenders on the site. Solid stun. In fact, they wipe them out, leaving just out a captain standing, and try as
That's
he
nice,
might,
dude.
he cannot hold off the flood of BBL.
Man, BBL are impressive.
That will be a third round.
I read, I can't remember who in your team said it, but they were like one of the hardest to like anti. Was it you or was it Neil or Weber or
Neil.
someone?
Neil.
It was you?
No, Neil.
Oh, it was Neil? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
They just changed a lot of stuff up.
I mean, it looks like they changed based on enemies. Like not random.
Yeah, like a
G2.
This time it was Mr. Fallen, but anyone with that weaker weapon to come up as they're looking to reinitiate.
I don't know that for a
they
fact
start
because
to take, they make
you know,
a little
I
bit of noise.
don't personally
Mr.
know any
Fallen
of them,
sees
but
that as his cue to go
maybe that's how
forward,
they
but
work.
he walks into the waiting arms of Profec. Patience on display and a good
But they're
read
for sure,
early
like,
on of what their
hardest
opponents
team
are
to
looking
read.
to
What are
do.
they doing
That's a
next
good
round?
sign for BBL.
Yeah.
3-1. Defense.
Yeah, it's a good sign for them.
They've got nothing. Sure, there's a Bucky, but it's not in Mr. Fallen's hands,
Wait.
so I'm not particularly nervous.
Dude, he's in so much trouble.
Cracks going in. No, he doesn't have it
Cracks
yet,
has
but he
done
now-
an
he gets his
absolute
online from diving in with the classic.
madness. He's
Oh,
done
this is
so
working.
good.
The headhunter from
Dude, they got the
Zeus
Bucky
has
kill
managed
as
to
well,
pick up
lurking
Bella.
over towards
And
top
from
of garage,
literally
so that was kind of
nothing.
sick. Dude, they
There's
had
now
literally a
just one
Bucky
man
into this, and that's
standing,
it.
Yelpy. Between it, a crazy
Everyone can
upset
play down
round
long,
for
'cause
FUT.
there's no vision block.
Starts with that all falling. The shot fired out in FUT. Knew that they had an opportunity. Now here's the same old play. We just talked about it. Send that man out and around. The late play while they're looking in one direction, come in from
Only
the
got
other.
classic.
Mr. Fallen, He doesn't want the fight with the classic. He's got himself a bookie.
They want to try save this up though.
Pushing down is already isolated one pick, but they're going to run that clock all the way down.
That's how we play 1v3.
Knowing that
Yeah.
he's going to be pressured from
That's
both
nice.
sides, that they have enough bodies
Pick up the
to
up
throw
as well.
at that he'll never get that diffuse across the line. And the reveal sure helped him out. What a round from FUT.
Yeah, pay save cards.
Dude, 2 guns picked up, one's an up as well. Money's crazy good. Man, Bucky's, dude. Bucky's aren't used enough.
Managing to win the duel, and from that point onwards, well, they had guns to play
Bucky
with.
on Neon
That
is one of the
huge
most
blip
broken things.
It's
I mean,
so
Judge is
good.
even better, but
yeah.
3 rounds you probably don't have enough for Judge, so just go Bucky, but it's still insanely good.
Yeah, but Bucky's just got that little bit better range as well for that one shot.
That BBL don't have the money to lose that previous round. That they wanted to keep so many people alive.
Funny thing is, Minibu is never playing Bucky.
Bro, get him on the Bucky. Do a prac only. Get him on the Bucky only. Get him liking it.
We already spent like 3 months trying to get him play Phantom. We finally
Oh,
built it.
okay.
Now they're in a position where they've got one rifle
Bucky's
to
not-
work with. Nothing else really, and already the rifle
I kinda
is
put wood on
the
Judge.
ground. It'll be recovered.
Yeah?
A bit.
The round
good.
is
He was
much
fine.
more
I mean,
difficult
it's a
to
good
get in
gun.
their hands.
Well, the hope was that
It's a mental gun, yeah. It's literally better in certain situations.
They have a couple of things to play with. Instead, Yedajay's lurk wipes out both players there.
The thing is as well, you
And
got
the
that
rest
tilt
have just gone
factor with
walking
it.
into the
It's
seaside,
the
got a
most
post
annoying
button, almost
thing
guaranteed the round already.
to die to.
For Sociable, it almost comes down to, okay, just holding on to that hero rifle again. Credits are not in the greatest of spots. Of course, Levin would have the Bladestorm anyway
Wait,
for the
Lun?
next
Oh, he's
round,
gonna
so
play.
it does
Turtle
mean that
next?
he doesn't necessarily need
Before
to have a
this
gun,
one?
but
Yeah,
with
they
winning
got,
that last round,
I mean, they
you're
got
not
every
going to
single ult
decimate the
apart from
economy of
Magnums. They
FUT
got the main
anyway.
ults, yeah.
So even an extra kill
Next
doesn't hold
round's big.
much
FUT
value at all.
winning this,
and
money's good.
especially with, you know, Zeus has got the ultimate, so even if
Do
there
you
was
think
any
FUT's
pressure
comp
on
is
the economy, they've got a free
better
weapon
on
to fall
defense
back
or
on.
attack?
And the reality is,
For sure
how
defense.
much damage do you think you
It should farm on defense. It actually does everything you want on defense.
It's almost all
But
of the
it's
players,
maybe a
so
little bit obvious
not
once you're
unlike
going
the
aggro A
scenario,
because you have to use
rifle
the
best
neon
off
stuns,
next,
but I think that's okay.
Yedajay working wonders
I think the
towards that
only
site.
like
Zeus
weakness,
popping off with the
obvious
outlaw
weakness
as
is
well,
like
and good
if
containment of
BBL
the
slow
flank.
played
But
so
really,
much
it comes back
and
to
get
that
on
previous round. The one before,
like execute on
put
empty
BBL in
sites,
the bin
Mhm.
economically,
that comp cannot
allowed
beat
for
it.
this round to fall
Like
into FUT's
Neon
hands.
maybe,
Now they're equalized up as a
but like
result.
it's
Bladestorm
almost
on the
only
other
Neon.
No,
end,
yeah,
rifles for the
it's yeah,
rest.
it's gonna
Need to
struggle.
put a
I agree.
stop to this now because FUT, they've got the economy to win this round. And then
But for
some.
that you need to
Like, that's the
not
main
die to
story of
chamber
this round, is just
before
having
getting into
so
sight.
much to
Yeah,
play
not
with.
dying to
also-
trips if they're there.
Immediate pop from
Yeah.
Stavalin trying to catch, and he has got a number of tags, but it's not like the rest are just sitting there now. Sociable gets an attempt on the other side, and he's going to immediately land the kill onto Zeus. And with a response attempted by Anna Captain,
Baby,
it's
BBL
now
would
a
love to
double
keep
up
this
of
one clean.
advantages.
Yampy still has ult
That's what
into
we
it.
needed to see.
If
BBL
they
back
want to
on
use
the
the
horse.
ult.
A side left a little bit
Insert
open,
one
but
over
that's all part
towards
of the
middle,
plan.
2
Let
passing,
FUT take that
but
space.
these
Yedajay,
kind of
that's
rounds
the
get
real
weird
danger.
because,
They're watching this.
like,
It's
in
a
an
5v3,
ideal
but
world,
it's not the real one.
Such passive
Say that again,
position
sorry.
stacked up on C.
Like it's a
Cypher
5v3,
utility there as
Yeah.
well. It's a
but
big
you
gamble
can
in the
still
late
find
round,
like
and
favorable
most
fights.
likely it's
Yeah,
gonna be
yeah.
looking at a post plant. The question is though,
because you would
For
love,
example, both
with just that
Sociable
little
and
bit of
Prophet are
control,
1v1s.
especially with the player
yeah,
coming
yeah,
back on
and
mid,
you would love,
probably someone goes aggressive. There'll
I
be an
find these rounds
opportunity
really
for a
weird where
pick,
it's
and
like,
if
you know
not,
the
it's
3
just
should be
highlighted.
sticking
Rolling
together, but
Thunder's
sometimes
online for
people
the
like
retake.
Yeah, they're
opt
just
in
playing
for a
as far
lurk
as
and then
safe as
you
humanly
just don't
possible.
think they're going to be lurking.
No
Like if
need
he had
to
actually stayed
overface,
middle here,
no
I
need
feel like
to
he would have
take
had a
risks,
successful lurk.
especially when
But you
multiple
also can't
ultimates are
heavily rely on the
faded
2
from
getting
this
over
round for
towards
the
the
opponent.
site.
They're not going to mind too much
Yeah.
throwing in a couple of their own if it's necessary.
My chat's asking you what do you
But
think
as
of
of right now,
Gentlemates picking up
They are
comeback.
kind of boxed in.
You
They
played
haven't
this guy
managed
much?
to get any sort of aggressive positioning.
Whoa.
The rest will just be able to set up for that
He's-
execution onto the
He's
side.
insane.
Nice reposition in
I
the
mean,
trap.
I
They're
know
worried about a
the
flank.
same
They
as
only saw
everyone
2
knows.
players with the drone,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
now they don't
Really
need to
good.
worry that much.
Don't
Able
think
to
maybe not
focus
everyone
on
realizes
pushing
that-
forward. That's the trade to start it
Okay,
off.
wait,
Yedajay
maybe
does
it's
well.
around.
He's been heating up and holding on to that long
They're low
position.
HP.
They still don't know about cracks. This is the missing factor. Out he goes!
No way.
Oh my god.
Oh god, dude,
How has he
Neon
gotten
man.
away with the third?
I kind of want to, and I don't want to see the POV of the third guy.
I've heard about 180 no scopes, but 180
I don't think
full
he missed that
sprays,
many
that's
shots.
something completely
Nah,
different.
He even hit
Let
2.
go of Mouse 1 in that whole move. He's
One.
just spraying all the time. That is
Okay, he did
absolute
Yeah, there's quite a few there.
madness. As said, we've never seen this man
Neon is the
play
most
the
exciting
Neon
agent
on
to
this
watch him pro
stage
play,
or
and like
any other stage.
the most
And these are the sort of
annoying
plays he's
in rank.
pulling out. 3
Dude,
in a row. And
it's
that's where
when you
BBL
get someone who's
pick up the
actually
force. Now,
like
this is
confident
something
and good
else I
with
wanna talk
movement.
about in
It's
general going
so
into this
hard to play
matchup.
against.
FUT have not had the best group stage, not had the best season.
Okay, what I was going to say?
BBL
Oh,
have
for
looked
comeback.
like the better team.
Yeah.
I think if you're talking about
I mean,
favorites, BBL come in
maybe
as
not
favorites.
many people
But then
realize,
I wanna
but
go
the
into
way
the realms of
Pacific are
experience.
playing
And that's where FUT
is like
wins
everything is
by
for
a
comeback.
decent margin. Sure, you got
Like
the
their
likes of
game
Young
plan
Pete
is like to set him up as
and
much
of
as
course
possible.
Magnum. They've been there
Yeah.
before. The rest
Like,
of
of course
players,
he's
they
good,
are
but
these,
there's also
well, I
like
was gonna say
the,
youngsters, rookies.
I don't know,
They're
like maybe
rookies
Yay
coming up
Optic,
to
where
challenge in the
Yeah,
league.
yeah, Optic.
everyone's
When
playing
they're
for
in that
him.
upper bracket match, you get 2
ODDG.
chances.
So
They did very well versus Heretics. But
maybe
now
that's what
coming into a game where
Gentlemen will
it is
do
all
as
on
well,
the
or
line.
maybe he
You've
doesn't
already
need
beaten
it. I don't
FUT
know.
earlier in
But
the
like,
season, but it was by 4 rounds over 2
like there is a
maps. It was
reason he's
incredibly
farming that
close.
much, not
If
just
you
like pure
start
skill.
to lose
Yeah,
rounds
yeah.
where you have a big advantage,
And that's
say,
right.
But he's
for example,
skilled.
a 3v5.
Nah, he's a beast, man.
This
He's
could
one of the best
easily
stoppers I
swing
think I've
into the
seen.
team with the more experience's
I
favor.
played some duos with him,
The only man that's not been to an international on the
and
other side is
he literally
Zeus.
carried me like every
It's
single game,
unbelievable
30
to
plus
think
on
that as
Chamber
well, that they
or
had the info on
Reina
two
or like,
players they didn't know
it's like, you know,
about Cracks,
came in Chamber
but they
like
smoked them all.
35.
But they had
I
Len
have like 10
watching
kills.
that
I win
smoke
the
as
game.
well.
Yeah.
And for him to come out with that
Dude,
level of
people can
pace,
lean into a chamber a little
I'll
bit
tell you,
more
like, Cracks
once
in a
that Teo
smoke,
goes
that's
out.
dangerous normally because he's a KO. He can flash out of it. He can
Don't know
cause
if you're a
problems,
mad.
but like
I
that
don't know if you're
is
much of a chamber
absolutely
believer, but
outrageous.
I think
The
with
lead now
the
for
Teo
FUT,
going out, you
at
got some
3-1, it looked
room for a bit of
certain
chamber.
that BBL
I
would
think there
have
is
a
also
fourth
always
on the
space
board,
for a
and
bit
that
of
was the moment
chamber
that FUT could fight back, but they
and
have
like maybe
made
some
their
other
own
agents.
opportunities
But
here
for a
on the
game or
attack
two, you
side.
cannot like play a
On
whole
display.
season, like
Consistently.
5
This is what
weeks
FUT
of chamber.
does.
100%, yeah.
When they
I don't
get
think
into
so.
that playoffs mode,
But like sometimes,
the
like
straight
maybe
BS
that's what
just
FUT are doing
comes
right
out
now.
of the
I
woodwork.
think it can work really well.
Think back,
Yeah.
half of their rounds come off winning an eco.
Dude, this
and
new
off
camera,
That's all
I've
you
only
really
seen it
need
this
to
year.
know.
It's so good.
A lot of pressure put onto Magnum here. The only real
it's a
defender.
good one.
Solid
Spot
stun.
long,
That
spot
will
short.
be a pick
You
for
can
them
actually like
and
set
a
yourself
rifle
up
for
for
Magnum.
this
They've
stun
been
here.
their best
So
player
good.
so far.
Why do I feel like Magnum gets more?
Stuck up close with that fight, though.
He
Able to
did
take
good,
one,
man.
traded out, but that's more than enough for BBL. Information and a
I
flank
can't get over how
underway.
good
The
he's
main thing
playing.
being Cypher's no longer in the
Like
game
he's,
on the side of the attack.
I don't know. I'm like,
both sides, I
I'm
suppose,
constantly in
but that's
shock by
opening
how
up this
much he
flank
improved.
route for Levin.
And
Get
I feel
himself
like
a
it was,
weapon. In fact,
you
he's
know,
picked up
fueled
the
by
signal. Swapping out here would make a
maybe anger.
sound cue. He doesn't want to give
Maybe,
it away.
I don't know,
He's
like
gonna continue
the way it went with PC
sneaking
and
his
stuff.
way up.
Yeah, yeah.
Sheriff
Like,
in
you know, I need
hand,
to
but
prove
his
myself,
teammates are
and like
falling.
he really
needs
did.
to hasten the pace. Cracks the last man standing. He was phenomenal in the last
Bro, this
round.
guy,
He'll do
he's
the
got a
same
1v3,
here.
he's got a 1v2.
A triple kill
Dude, they're getting a
to
lot of
put
rounds
the
on
round
attack.
into FUT's backpack. I looking at Cracks playing on a Neon first time. It sure doesn't look like it.
Another Red Bull
By the way,
coach
still on comeback.
to add
One
to
thing
the
about
already
comeback,
growing collection.
he pretty much
I
doesn't
feel like
speak
Zeus
English.
gotta be sitting there going,
Oh,
"Good
really?
job."
That might be a
Gonna
problem.
get a little
Oh,
bit
that
nervous.
actually might be a
Unless he's
problem.
like
The way
extra
that Cracks is
shy,
playing right now. And again, it's another
maybe
round
he,
where
maybe
you
he's
look
also
at
like
that
shy or
from BBL,
something.
they have the
But like
advantages,
also
they
with,
get the openers,
you know,
they're
I talked
in
with some
solid
Turkish
positions,
players,
but then
my
they
guys as
give
well, like they
just
all
a
said that
window, a slight chance
his
for
English
Cracks.
is quite bad.
Amani
Okay,
takes it with both
yeah, that's
hands.
good.
5-3 in the lead.
That's a
This
bit
is
of an
where
issue.
Cracks come back out. Already,
But
though,
it
Cracks
takes
is
time to
trying
fix.
I was
again.
gonna say
There
it's
needs to be a
fixable, but they
trade,
ain't
and
got
there will
too
be.
much time.
Magnum 13-5 as
It's a
well.
bit, it's a big
He's
season for
having
them
a
as well.
hell
It's
of a
good to get
game. Had
playoffs.
a great start
Dude, the group
to
selection is
this
going to
map.
be really important for
But
them in
even
the
seeing him
EMEA.
online like that, we need others to meet him, and
That
FUT have
group
been
draw.
able to dice up this squad when it comes to those late rounds, to those clutches, as you said. Already they've lost one, but traded out with Sociable
I'm a
down.
bit disappointed with that group
It
draw
looks like
thing.
they'll be grouping
because
back up with Yedege. The B
like
sides
you will
being
just
their-
not
their
play
when they
from
have to
third and
abandon
team
that
in
early
Volier.
aggression.
Yeah.
But I
Like
see
you might
pings
never
all over
play
C-Long. They're
FUT,
worried
for
about
example.
someone pushing
Yeah.
up close,
This
maybe
year.
playing behind that trap. The push
Yeah, it's
into
a
the
little weird.
site.
I liked last year,
Well,
there's so
these
much more.
traps are covering the garage split,
Where you just play everyone.
not covering this walk up through.
I think
long.
we can never. It feels like we can never Get a good one.
Once more, he's thrived within it.
I mean,
A
last
lot
year
of
was
these
good.
rounds, but he's
Or
under
was it
pressure from that Neon once again. Dancing and diving.
I think damn nice shot, bro. That second shot is everything. I think the main worry about that last year's one is that everyone was more aware that they were like fully done by stage one because you kept the same score.
Somehow, I
Okay,
feel
yeah,
like
that
this will
part
be
was
the one that
symbolic,
works.
yes.
But
That
look
part
at how
was
FUT are
symbolic.
playing it.
Yeah,
They're on
yeah.
close
I
range.
think
Swing,
some kind of
trade found
blend of
immediately
both
because
would
of
be
it, and
pretty
then the
good.
backside
Dude, this is
swing
just
as
Zeus
they're
here.
looking
Man, they
to
got way
take
too many
down Mr.
rounds, no?
Fallen.
Six
shows his
new
face.
comp.
6
Don't know any of the
to 3
setups on
now. A
defense.
streak of
I think
5 rounds coming
think
out of
this
FUT,
is-
and they look
I mean,
like
this
they've got full
individual
control.
based,
That setup from Magnum
but
on
that's
the
kind of the
C-side,
comp. Like chamber comp
specifically
will always
looking
be
at how
individual.
Yeah,
FUT
chamber
will
comps
approach
is
it. They do that
always
shock
this
dart, so
guy's
if
got to
you have
perform.
something to block
Good
out
chance.
that play towards long, it's going to be gone anyways. So instead, Magnum's isolating one avenue of approach. He only has to battle that lane.
I'm not actually
and he
sure
wins
why
his duel.
BBL picked
But
Haven.
it's not enough.
Like, was it
They trade him out
surprising to
quickly,
you?
take site control, and from there, it looked like it was
I'm
FUT's
trying to
round
remember how
all
the
over.
Havens looked
Now,
before. No, the
pressure
Haven
onto
doesn't
the
look that
economy
bad
of BBL.
before.
They're left with pistols.
I mean, they won
I
last two
mentioned
games.
at the
I
beginning
think,
as
Yeah,
well.
yeah.
Haven.
The maps we've seen
But they're not a Haven team for me.
have mostly been on that defensive side. Now, sure, you'd look at
I don't even know
the
what that
match
means, but
versus
just a
mates.
feeling.
No,
What do
yeah,
you mean,
I
Tom?
got
They
you.
have 100% win on the attack, but that's mostly just pistol follow-ups. So
305.
far ahead that it doesn't really tell much of a story. The defense is where BBL
Another
have
player
looked
on
solid,
BBL
but
that
right now,
surprised
FUT are
me a lot with
tearing them a
Prophet.
new one. They're
Like,
winning
he's
rounds
so...
Wait, really?
yeah, they shouldn't, but then
He
also
was like
the
one
last
of
that was
the
just clean. They
the
were
top
comfortable.
tier 2
And
smokers.
now the economy under serious
You didn't think he'd be
threat.
this
Cracks
good,
taking
or?
0 damage on the entry,
I mean-
but its time will fall. But
Okay,
there's
let's
that
just do
1-2 punch again. Even still, it's coming close.
Damn, I thought BBL were gonna...
Yeah,
Um,
but at this stage of the
lost
game,
sector.
round 10,
I
close
just don't...
isn't going to be enough. They
I didn't
need
know
to
that he was
win
like
these
one of the
rounds.
best ones. I mean,
If they're
actually I
making
did, but like
any
what I
sort
mean,
of an
I don't
impact or else,
pay
well,
attention
you
to
might
tier
as well
2
left all 5 alive. FUT have
enough to say
plenty
that.
of credits ults
Yeah,
online
yeah.
as
Oh,
well.
I expect this guy to be
For
good,
the
or I
next.
expect this guy not be
There's only
good.
going to be 2 to play for after this one.
It's more like,
all
let's
alone,
see how they do.
Sheriff in hand.
Yeah, okay.
They've grouped up. They're watching the walkout, knowing that he's going to make some noise either way. And as he
Nah, no
drops
way.
out
Yeah,
into the
it's rough.
cloudburst, no
I think,
panic, 2 guns trained on the
I
angle.
think
seventh round
sometimes
secured as
there's
a
not
result.
as much difference in tier 2,
synergy
tier 1.
from FUT in a lot of these
Like
late,
some-
late rounds.
I
don't
has
think
been
that is
perfect.
actually.
Like,
Yeah,
like we
yeah.
saw on the C site in the last,
Like,
the
I'm not
timing
even
of every
joking.
single peak
When we
was
were in
very,
Dach
very
League
easy
finals,
in the end.
like we were
And
watching
okay,
CGM,
sure, some of the entries
and
have
we were
been
like,
chaotic and messy,
what if
but
we just
it
go on
does almost
pieces now
feel
and play
like a
against
lot of that is
Focus?
by
I
design.
think we would have
Like,
lost.
let's disrupt their defense
Wait, really?
In terms
rather
of
than
like,
focusing on having
like, you know,
these
if we would just go and play,
amazingly
like,
perfect
without
executions. Don't
our
get me wrong,
preparation,
Newton's still
without
there
our,
to
like, you
support,
know,
it's just
getting
Yeah,
the mind
yeah, just
of
straight thrown
Israel,
in.
you know,
I'm
like,
also now seeing Cracks
like, you know, just
investing into an attack
go and play
side
low.
judge alongside
I think
the
we would get
overdrive.
fucked on it.
So this man is
And I mean, you
he's
can
in a
see that in
toxic
scrims, like,
mindset.
it's not like tier 2 teams
Cracks
are getting shit on the
into
scrim
the fight.
by tier 1
Grabbing
team.
one and almost
Yeah,
a
no,
second.
it's close, man.
Levin's
It's
not
close.
good enough to
Dude, I
trade
love
out,
this
but
round
Zeus
from
is there
FUT.
to
It's
pull the
so fast.
advantage
Into,
back into
I
FUT's
just think
court.
people
And now, even a
shouldn't be
drop
getting
out
caught by
of
the
Magnum would be
Insta
a huge risk.
by the
Hunter's Fury
Insta
put through. The tag could get him
Sova
spam
drone.
killed. Oh, it's the drop
But
in fact.
I
And a
love
big
that they went
mistake.
fast on
Because
this as
Yenneday was
well.
on
Dodging the
pressure.
ult, everyone's just got to
It was
worry
meant
about
to be a
dodging the ult, get that
distraction,
knife
meant to
out,
be
and you just have a neon
giving
jumping
him
on you.
space into the site, but Yenneday was more
Yeah, I think it's
than
the
aware.
best with
And now
Neon.
for Sociable and
The best
Prophet,
combo
it
that
again
ult with
becomes
Neon is
an almost impossible retake to win.
Just the
4
extra
players
speed
on
on
him.
it, and
Prophet's
it's just,
done well, but I feel like
know,
Zeus
it's
has
insane.
just been the trade machine. Not having to be that first player in anymore. That first contact means he could just focus on wiping out anybody that steps forward.
Damn, I didn't expect 8-3.
Right,
That
his
8
stat
on
line has been
attack,
rising
I was not
round by
expecting. I was
round.
thinking of 5,
For Sociable, I
to be
mentioned
honest.
the heroic performance last time out. He might get one in this round, but the clock is surely too far gone. Just has to escape and won't even do that.
8 rounds now.
That's the thing about Valorant.
It's funny
Anyone
to
can
think
win
back
against
on that
anyone
3-1 position.
anytime.
BBL
Yeah.
had everything going
Against
their
an
way.
eco.
You have CS where there is like
Was it? Did they have
almost
they had one
confirmed
sort of a
wins.
weapon?
It was a
and then
Bucky.
A Bucky. That
Like
was
if
the
you know,
one.
like,
Bucky.
Vitality
And
playing
then
someone or
still an
whatever.
eco mid.
No, yeah,
And
you
then there is
can see
Valorant
that.
where
I'm trying to think, was it the Outlaw?
Yeah,
that
it's
did
a lot
the
anything
safer.
can
engine?
happen.
It was all about the classics. It was an op
Of course,
on
not
BBL
Dominion.
switching
Headhunter
from
It's a
first
good,
level.
That was the
start.
other thing, but he
He'll
doesn't
have
not
that
have
every
that.
round, doesn't But that's the thing, like you know,
Graphage,
there
thanks so much
wasn't
for the
a lot
prime, man.
to
Appreciate the
work with
25
there
months
for
also.
FUT. There was
Thank you,
no
thank you.
Major tags. It was
Cage, camera
pistols that
pressure over
seemed to have
towards A.
turned the tide of this completely into their favor.
Krax is doing so much, man. Look at him go.
Possible, favored perhaps, and a much more direct approach from FUT that's worked
But
wonders.
that is a
This
really
site
good way to
previously
play with
had so
Neon.
much
You can't play
utility
like that
waiting for
every
them to
round,
walk into, but they
Nah.
swapped it
but
to
if you
A.
throw in rounds
Now
like
the
that,
retake attempt is what they're left
just
with.
unstoppable.
Yuppie finds one, the weaker
and
weapons
the retake with
shining bright in this round, almost as bright as that
Whoa.
flash, but it doesn't stop Zeus. He's good for one before falling.
I have no
Mr.
idea he's
Fallen
on
and
site, I'm
Yenneje
pretty sure.
have to take down the rest, and Well, Mr. Fallen's got himself one, but the trades just keep on
As soon
coming
as the
in.
smoke goes
BBL
down, it's done.
finding their form at last, but
A great shot,
is it
but
too little, too
wait,
late?
they push him?
Still
Oh.
Yedijay to deal with, but
But he
they'll
had a
get that
chance.
across the line.
Dude,
Still
8 on
4
attack with this
rounds on
comp
the
is
defense.
insane.
It's
I do
not
think,
quite what
I mean,
we've
the
seen from
individuals
them in
won
the
them
past.
so many
Yeah, they get
rounds.
to lose
Cracks
an attack side round on this map,
1v3,
but
1v2,
I
right?
think it's
And
fair to
then
say the
like the
momentum
double
is
entries
firmly
as
in
well on
FUT
a couple
Four.
rounds.
After this
Also
first
cracks.
half, they have been
Yeah.
fantastic, and now look to close out their opponent's map choice after the break.
What do you think about
I mean,
Minia's
you could say that,
IGL? I think we didn't see long enough for me to be able to judge, to be honest, because he was kind of thrown in midway through the season. He frags heavy though, but
on this half, it's not like BBL even played bad. It maybe the clutches like advantage situations were not the best,
yeah.
but in general, I don't even think they played bad. They just got wrecked.
Why do you think Serial is struggling from his tier 1 form into tier 2 form into tier 1 form? I think when you look at Serial, he's been put in like one of the biggest flex roles, and he's playing a lot of agents that he had never played, at least in pro play. I think he's
playing all the bitch roles.
yeah, pretty much.
Like, you know how
He
in
pretty
CS there
much
was
is.
like, you're playing B on Mirage and just jump spotting. Like, that's Serial.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. It's like, guess what? You gotta play here. You gotta play B with an Astra. Like, well, rough. But he's also just doesn't have much experience on those agents. So I think he's doing well, to be honest. I think it's just a learning curve.
And now we get to
I mean,
see
as a rookie, he
BBL's
comes into a
attack
team, he
side.
does
Their
decent.
defense has clearly been picked
And
apart by FUT.
based
A
on
new
what I heard,
composition
improves the
brought to bear
team,
by their opponents.
team
And FUT
atmosphere.
have made it
Yeah.
look
That's a win for
wonderful.
sure.
Zeus
Yep.
recapturing that fire that
I
we've
agree with
seen
that.
from him before. But
Like, he's not meant to
Krax
be carrying or
really
anything.
drew our eye. The first time on a Neon, and he looked damn comfortable.
Do you want to
Dude, I feel like Vitality needs someone like that.
Immediately, but I think it's
Hit
funny
me with
just
it.
for now. This stage,
I mean,
they
improve
have
the
never
atmosphere.
lost
Doesn't
around
have to
this
frag
BBL
heavy.
while they're on their attack side. They're 8-0, and then on the other side of things,
Gives them some
Five-0.
because
plans.
they've only
Kinda
played it once, FUT have actually
maybe
never
is
won
that
a
guy.
defense
No?
round this
Who is
year.
he?
But
A Cyber.
They've only played it once.
I don't know
and,
how you
yeah, they
pronounce
were
his name,
0-5,
honestly.
so
Yeah, they
I
just
don't
call him
think that's gonna
Zywo.
last,
Zyvo, okay, whatever,
but it's
Zyvo.
interesting for now.
So,
Well,
I mean,
it
he
was
even
going
fragged
into
heavier.
round 8 that we had
But-
that pause for
I don't know.
BBL.
I mean, Vitality is
Didn't seem to change anything. FUT had all
There's
the
a lot going wrong.
answers. But as we saw, the stats very high for
Okay,
BBL's
dash spots the guy close.
pistol win rates,
Yeah,
and they'll find
this might
themselves
be
the
a
opening.
double pistol
This could be
coming in
the
here,
course
unless
correction,
Krax can
get
do a
them back
madness.
into the game, but Zeus
Oh, no.
and
Spike
Yedijay,
down.
they're back up in here. The brawl won, the spike down, and the smoke from the attackers blocking them out of this site. Zeus waiting for it to fade, and there's the info. They know where the split play is coming from, but the
Magnum
cage
is
has
still
gotten
alive.
them the spike, and it looks
I mean,
like
they managed to steal
BBL
it.
could be up for a
Still
plan.
the spike, one walks over here. Yeah, I would be so down for Perfect to be making like accidental footsteps here, but
The defense have all grouped up together, just looking to play the advantage.
No,
Perfect,
very
surely
good.
dead to
Yeah, I won't
rights.
play like
This
that,
leaves
but-
Magnum again.
it's a good reaction from
No
Foot to push
doubt
down middle.
that he has been the player to watch for BBL.
Teams are getting a lot better
When it comes to this
reactively.
map,
I've
this
noticed
would
that a lot
have
this
to be
year.
the best of
Like
them.
making plans.
There is a
Everyone's
slight
speaking about
split
making
up. There's
plans.
maybe an opportunity for him to find Mr. Fallen, but it's all
Yeah,
gonna
I
be
think it's
about the
natural.
timing.
Like, you
And
just
then
watch
has
the
to
best teams, that's what
Almost
they
hope
do,
they
so
don't
you
group up,
start
and that's
doing it as
exactly
well.
what happened. Every single member looking to come around the corner. First goes his way, but
Okay,
Yedijay
1-1. Dude, this
for the
might be
round.
a
Another
be a
pistol,
short one for
and this
Foot
one
here.
going in the favor of FUT. And that might be
Got a
already
palm
this
down. Do you
map
reckon they
looking
force
tough.
here? I'd
Yeah,
be so tempted to
absolutely.
force
A
this.
3K from Magnum
You're
in
up
the
against
first
double
physical
Sentinel
round
on attack.
their own defense, and Yedijay's just one-upped him. 9-4.
I would only force if I have a round
Like you
prepared.
said, Tom, it feels like that's the
Okay.
beginning of the end. This was a round
Like,
that was
you know, if you
very
have,
much
like, a good
needed, and it started out
whatever
with flying
rush.
colors
Yeah,
before
yeah.
BBL.
You have it prepped.
Exactly. And that's something that is uncharacteristic for BBL throughout this entire stage, throughout this year, I'd say. A team that makes
See, I
the
think if you're
most
doing this,
of
you
the
just go for
advantages
it.
that they
Didn't.
claim, but
Okay,
here,
yeah, yeah.
It's a different flavor. And another conversation
Okay,
we
let's
had
see what
the
the call
last
is.
game that we saw from FUT was about how this team has
might be-
leveled
I mean, this might be the
in
map.
this elimination stage. They've looked a ton better
Oh,
than what
Yatoshi
we
might
saw
get
in the
caught
upper
with the
bracket
breach.
or in group play.
I mean, I'm looking at the minimap right now. This is looking nice for BBL.
For BBL, previously winning that Turkish derby, but it looks like FUT are back to set the record straight.
Yeah. But looking to do it when it matters
Prox
most.
is already on
That's the
site.
main thing. Doing it in the playoff stage. An investment here with the Stingers
Three on
coming
site.
through for this attack side, and it's not started out too
3
badly.
on site.
We don't see the Stinger pie much in the EMEA. In fact,
Wait, where the
probably
bullets going?
BBL that
You get
likes
no
to run
kills.
them massively.
Wait, how? Where?
Position.
All of their bullets do
Mark
no
out
damage.
Zeus with
14,
everything
21,
but
44,
unfortunately,
and
he
2.
can't find any of the previously injured members. BBL
Just rubber
have
bullets.
found themselves a lifeline.
I think Magnum just randomly sprayed one guy through the smoke with
Wow.
Stinger, and that
We'll
was
see if they
the
can
kill.
build off it.
You gotta respect Zeus.
Did the guy dive backside for breach damage as well? I don't know if he got tagged or not. I don't think so.
Even in that
And
moment.
that's why
He
he's
got
picked
neon stuns from Garage.
Chamber.
Oh, really?
Well, the only
Maybe.
thing is with
No,
these,
there was-
we saw him
Okay.
break that
Well,
rule a little bit, but
That's the kill you're
Marshall in
talking
his
about.
hand,
I even feel like
Iron sights only.
But there was no
the
neon
mini
assist on
scope on the
the
headhunter. Does that
on
count?
the after
No,
effects,
it
so-
doesn't. No, those are sights, not a scope.
Okay.
All right, get your terminology
It zooms in.
sharpened up a little bit.
Okay, I mean, maybe this
So
is
the
on now.
bulldog, you call that a scope?
Looks like they're on the chamber trying to do some antics as well.
More than an iron sight, more than a banana, I suppose. Get your head screwed on, Tom. FUT down on the pistols, but this isn't a round that BBL can afford to take for granted. We've seen that already. Now Sociable dropping Mr. Fallen. This advantage should be hard to lose.
Yeah, Cracks is dead. No, that's the main thing. It does leave Magnum on the other side of the map to the rest of the team, and already knows there's at least one around this corner. Of course, the
Sometimes
rest
feel
of the team is sort of the
like
ones
Magnum is
with the
playing his own game.
stronger weaponry, and more importantly, the spike.
He's allowed
He's
to
now
do what he wants.
flanking the flanker.
He's so dead. Oh,
Hunting for Yedajay. Here's the stats.
damn, last bullet.
He is not.
They seem to have a decent idea of where the last one
Look
was
at
standing,
him go,
and he
man.
manages to clear
He's
things
actually
up, and
Thanos
it's so
out here, man.
flawless.
What is this? Has his
They
ult as well?
continue that resurgence
Like, I watched
into their
some,
map choice. Still three
like,
behind,
what
but that's
from
about as good
different
as
maps
it gets
preparing
in
for
terms
them,
of the
and
first 3 rounds.
It might
Like,
not
I'm just
quite be
looking
a
at Magnum
3K
and,
in
like,
the pistol round
how
for
is he not
Magnum, but
punished?
He'll take it here
Like,
instead.
again and again and again, but
20
he's just
and 10 on him.
getting those
You look at a
timings
lot of the
everywhere.
rounds
Yeah.
that BBL have found and
He's
point
playing
to
with a
him
lot
as
of
the
confidence.
reason why
I
this
got
one
his
less
aim.
so, but
His
going into
aim's
the first
really on
half,
as well at the moment.
It would have been a whole lot worse if Magnum wasn't activated.
I also want to say,
Dude, I remember when we used to have when we used to play him back in the day. We used to have maps where we would go for him. He wouldn't change up his killjoy stuff that much. But he looks so much better now.
Maybe the difference maker.
I
if
said they were
they're
gonna
able
say
to turn
something
the tide.
different, but-
If is the main thing though. This is where FUT now have their purchase in hand, ready to go. And there's still definitely some weaknesses. 2 Stingers pulled in, as this is still very much a bonus round.
That shock dart did a lot of damage to Magnum. He's going to be playing this one nice and slow, just containing the control. Trap and Cam covering off a lot of this map and allowing these
Yeah,
players to
looking like
pressure A
BBL
a
might
little bit more freedom. Now Zeus has got himself
gamble
a
right
trap.
where we're going over towards here.
That's actually, I like that.
Like,
He's
for example,
walking
if
out
we will
of range
Kitane
of
now
it,
and
so it deactivates. So
Zeus goes,
maybe they
like,
think they've got a gap, and
1
then
for
it'll
1
come
or
back
0.
online and give them the
I think
info.
it's so hard for
Anyways,
FUT
they've
to win.
broken it, so he knows there's
Yeah.
at
But
least one
they're moving
on
now,
their
they're
way.
moving.
I kind of like this from
Rotations coming
FUT
in as well.
though.
There's gonna be
They
3 around
went
the side of the
aggro
map.
over towards A. They put the
Side
trip
for
down in
utility
the
covering
corner
off
to
the
give them
rest,
early
doubling
info.
up the
Then once the
cracks
trip
there,
gets
have a much
broken,
quicker
2
rotation.
pass from rotate
Pressure's
over
on.
towards A.
They've got the numbers to
Recon
deal
gets
with it on
shot.
FUT.
We get 3 on site.
Waiting in the corner.
Like,
Yedajay
this setup
there
from
to
FUT
start.
looked
This is gonna
nice.
reveal everyone as they go. This is definitely a problem. And while for Cracks, it's easy pickings in the end. Even still, though, there's been a response.
Next kill's big.
Zeus sneaking around behind them, though.
They
He
don't
was
know.
here the whole time. He was waiting
Oh,
for
no.
them. It's a little bit whiffy, but eventually gets the job done.
Saw him.
And now all that is left is Prophet to try and fight
Oh.
versus 2. Isolates 1 duel, but again,
that
those
was nice.
trades
Dude, this
have
was
been
cool though
so
from FUT.
quick
I like
from the
this.
side of FUT. They'll hit double digits. But even still,
This is the thing with this
all
team,
with two
man.
Stingers
They
and
always
some
use the
weaker
weirdest
guns.
comps,
It's
but
an
they always
awful
got
round
good
for
stuff with
BBL.
comps.
They would have liked to win it though from the spot they were in.
Like, it looks
Exactly.
fun to
That's
be on
the
this
thing.
team.
The spot that they're in, 4 rounds behind now, FUT on double digits. It's not a comfortable position to be in, and they need to be consistent from this point forward, close to perfect, and a pause is going to be called.
my sword, the timing.
and the shorty inside the smoke. There was an opportunity, but not claimed.
I think that's
this
the
time.
most finish he's ever sounded.
That's
like,
true.
Just rolled the legs.
It's the frustration. It happens to me as well. All right, I understand.
I didn't know you were Finnish.
Yes, I am. Not only when I'm angry. That's the thing. But yeah, a pause for BBL. And last time we saw Pal rattling out the commands. We saw all the learnings in his book being communicated, but it didn't change
All the
pace.
names in the death note.
I think at some
It
point,
didn't change anything.
Mhm.
FUT were still able to string
BBL
together,
are gonna,
I think,
I don't know,
4
maybe lose
rounds
map 1 or
from
something.
that point forward.
the thoughts of
This
like,
is their last
oh, we
chance
could have
now
won
to touch base.
yesterday,
FUT feeling calm,
Oh,
cool,
yeah.
and collected. They haven't needed
Man,
to call
it's-
a single time
it
out.
might come.
for
They
this
got a lot of
impressive return
they
to
got a lot
form,
of new
David.
players that haven't been in this position as well.
When you win
Like
7
this is like
rounds
one
in
of
a
the,
row,
I would
your
say
opponent's map choice on
maybe
their favourite
everyone
part of
apart
the
from
map.
Magnum and Yampi. It's probably
really
the
need to tag
biggest
for it.
games
It's
of their
crazy.
career,
Most people wouldn't know
or
that.
like one of.
No. That's why I'm
Yeah,
here.
for sure.
So your mind starts
Educational
racing
content.
thinking about that kind of stuff.
This is where, though, the extra damage done in the previous round has put FUT's
And FUT are
economy
like,
on the brink. BBL win
you
this
know,
round. They
they're
could
already
get
in
back
lower
into the
bracket
running,
like
but
for a while, right?
you always feel with
They're
how
also
FUT have been
so
playing,
much more
there's just
experienced.
one
Yeah.
or two players ready to
They've
be
been
a
here
hero.
before.
The thing is, though,
Whoa.
this site is completely open.
I
They
mean,
played
FUT were
offside
ready
knowing that that roll
to
thunder
leave this
was
site.
in
They also
play.
did a push over towards
The
middle,
jury's
saw
been
nothing.
utilised,
There
but
is
to no effect,
3
they're getting
people
ready
here
to go straight
kind of
back in. Look how
fast.
close they are.
They don't have recon though,
Already hit
and
as the plant is going down, backside almost
so
under their
pretty much
control.
what you
The
said,
goes
that
to
their
the
retakes aren't gonna be great.
Catches one before falling, and Sociable with the double seams to, of course,
And
correct
after what I
this
saw
back
now,
in
I should
favor
add, like,
for BBL.
they're only good
7 rounds
if
on the board.
enemy team
Prophex Paranoia
would get
there
caught off
changes
guard.
around.
But
Mhm.
I
He
instantly saw
holds
counter
it
paranoia
later in, knowing they're going to use the rolling
Prophex.
thunder. Normally you'd use that on
Like-
entry.
like,
Instead,
that's
he
kinda all
waits
it
the
takes. Like,
second
one
he
counter
hears
you do is
anything
already
as they're
so
looking to break back in,
big
uses
against
the
this one.
paranoia, so it completely discombobulates them
Yeah,
on
like
the way
even-
back into
yeah,
the
Yampi
side.
in
Like you can see
suspense,
there's a
like,
player or two
there's
blind,
no chance.
disjointed. It even just fades off cracks as we see that fight being taken.
under what
And even though
circumstances
he's
would
not
you
gonna
give
be
each of your
massively on the
hardworking
scoreboard
mods
for that round, just that little
5k
bit of delay,
USD
it
as a
changes very
bonus?
fast
Jesus,
into the site where you're
5k?
planting
I mean,
to.
how many gifted
Oh,
subs
one
is
guy
that?
in, one guy
If
not
someone
being able
if someone
to
gifts
see.
them right now, then sure.
Big difference maker.
Wait, did you see where he put his TP?
Smoke is there.
What?
Yeah,
And
I'm not
unfortunately,
sure
the TP's a
about
little
that
bit
one.
too
Is
close.
that
Away
a?
from the flash.
I'm not
That
sure
shot
about
so
that one.
quickly, It's hard to even realize he got a kill.
It,
Yes, but the problem is TP goes in.
but you can put the TP around the
For
corner and
deep
still get to the
aggression,
angle
this
that he
was for
wants.
Yeah,
easy
really.
control, allowing the pistols to stack
He
in
just
on the other
forgot.
side of the
He
map.
just.
So
I
when
mean,
he
he just.
TPs, he's
And
not
that's the
even
one
inside
time.
the
Okay,
smoke.
I mean,
That's the
I guess
ultimate
unlucky.
out of play. And your one pick, it's reasonable, but in this round, it's not helpful for FUT. These pistols have to do a whole lot of work. We've seen them get
Okay,
that
well,
done before.
wait.
Krax has popped the ultimate to great effect, but they're tagging him up as he goes. Leaving out a captain alone and playing it together was the right approach here for BBL. 8 rounds on the board. A bit of damage done
I mean,
by
you can
FUT,
see how
but 2
BBL are
ults
like,
committed.
once they realize
Yeah,
height
so
is
you
clear,
remember in
like
the round
all the
before
focus
this
is on the
where
choke
Yampi
points,
used his,
nothing
rolling
else.
thunder?
Yeah. They gotta.
Oh,
I wouldn't
my
mind a timeout
Yeah,
here. I know
he's
that
gone away
BBL
from
just
having
took
it
one,
again.
but
He's
I
been
think they gotta
cleaning
be.
up the last couple of
Well, I
rounds.
mean, it's a
He's
good
also
shot
been getting
though.
the blind. Yeah, look at him
It's a
at his
crazy
point of
shot.
view,
It's just
that's
missed
wild. He's
TP.
full blind, just swinging around and gets the kill.
It's obviously from our POV, we
9
just
mods
see
time
like an idea
545
as he's
times
flashed.
He's just
2.
full blind.
But he couldn't see a damn thing.
18,000
He had
gifted
the
subs. I
reactions
mean,
to try
yeah.
and look away from the flash, go, oh, I am
Wait, you
blind,
said
and then go
5k as a
straight back to
bonus,
the
so it means
exact
you're paying
point
something
he was
as a
originally
base?
holding.
Yeah.
His
They
system
get.
mechanics is genuinely
What
just
does? What do they get
remarkable.
per? They get something per
By
sub
the
now. I
way,
can't remember how much
the
percentage
operator
it
is the
is.
gun that he doesn't really play.
Yeah.
Like money.
Yeah.
Don't
Yeah,
really
yeah,
like
yeah.
gun,
We
'cause
talked about
Did
you know,
they-
first time
did
knee
they
up
do
for
so
Krax.
much?
Might be
Why, you
first
wanna
time
become mod?
Scoping in for Zeus, so he's doing pretty well, all things considered. It's a tough
No,
one.
I'm not gonna steal their money.
Guess I'll have to
Is
use
it
the
like,
very op-
is it a
that slows
pool
people,
of
yeah.
mods
Oh,
and then they share? So if it's like
Ooh.
Yeah.
5
Okay,
mods,
see
they
you
would get
later.
more than
Yeah,
if there
Zeus,
was
one of
10
the guys
mods.
with the
Yeah,
best
but like
name
you got like
in the
the
entire league,
fake mods
and
like keep
Magnum
it
is
bacon.
just-
They don't get any.
Sit down, son. Sit down.
They're
That's
not
all
in
I'm
the
gonna
pool.
say. He is
Yeah,
been
they're
on
not
a
in the pool.
impressive grind.
Okay.
Wingman suit not on for this one, but let's be real, he needs no support.
That's cool. I
Does
didn't
look
know.
good in the suit though.
Yeah, I've seen it on every BBL.
Fake mods,
profile
yeah.
picture.
No, do they do? I mean, they run the show basically.
I'll make it
They do
my
so
own.
much.
Now they threw a shock dart through, but it didn't.
And like Sonia does all of my thumbnails as well.
They threw the shock dart in. It
They're
didn't
out
break
here.
the trap.
They're out here working
So there's a
overtime.
lot of map control still for FUT, but
Ovi Hart, thank you so much for the tier 1. Thank you. I appreciate that.
There's 3 players towards C, and
Another
only one of them can
potential
rotate
retake.
quite quickly. The pressure is on for Ada Captain, alone
they're
inside
gonna
this
flood
smoke.
insta.
Shock darts, shorties, everything coming his way, and it's Levin on backside to clean up. Yumpy grabs one, Rolling Thunder online, but it is not needed here. They've already got themselves full control, and they may well have sent FUT into a save. We had questions.
Okay, what
about
would you do
BBL's
if you were
attack
FUT?
side, because man, we didn't get to see very much of it.
If
in
I'm
the other
FUT,
games. 8 rounds
I'm
across
trying
2
to.
games,
I'm pretty
and
much
most of
doing
which
something
is
similar
just
to
the
this, where
pistol round
I'm.
and follow up,
First of
and then
all,
it's all
I want to
done and
do a
dusted.
punish over towards middle
formality.
because I don't think this
Now
camera
the
can be up here the
challenge
whole
is there.
time.
The comeback
I'm
needed.
doing
They're
some kind
rising
of
to the
fake pressure
challenge.
over towards middle,
Turns
where
out
like
there
maybe
might
my
be the
server's
strongest
starting here and I
side,
just
which would
shock
be a
this because it's been up here every single round and they've had it from garage.
Considering, well,
But I do think you also
we saw
gotta
how he's
do some
very
kind of
happy to
push
be
over
starting on
towards
the
A and
defense
try
of
to set
this
the
map.
chamber up. But I would set the chamber up
It has
on the
been a
line
turnaround
and then
of
have the trip
sorts.
on short.
We talked about this matchup
I
going
kind
into
of, I would
the
pretty
day.
much do the
Obviously,
same setup
everybody
as they
was
have
talking
here
about
on
this
A.
matchup last time around
But
as
I
the-
would break this
the
shock, so there's
longest
actually some
map
kind
in
of pressure and
VCT
push behind
history
middle.
was played on
Because the
the
comp
set.
can't retake, so you have to push him
I
back.
didn't see what
Is it
happened in the
does
beginning.
seem
Did he
like
just
these
like A
teams
default and kill
match
Zeus?
each other even. Like you kind of forget that
honestly,
the Icebox
we'll find
was
out now.
also a 13-11. It literally went down to the wire, and I think many, including
I
myself,
thought it was
expected
45, but-
another overtime to come up in that series. And while you mentioned the fact that unlikely for BBL to get to touch in again, luckily for them,
Is
you
it
went
timeout?
half
Okay,
rounds
I mean,
and
it's a
it
good time
would've
for a
for you.
timeout.
I was thinking this is a good time to call that
Yeah,
timeout.
because if
2
you see these
rifles
comps,
in
like,
play, 4 FUT,
you
and
know,
there's
like
been a couple
execute
props.
against
Touch
the
base
defense
on
of
it
the
now.
side,
Use
like
this
BBL
round as a
comp
learning
is always gonna
opportunity
win.
and try to set those
Yeah.
rifles up with the best
Just by
opportunity
amount of
to have
util.
some sort of impact.
So you need
We've
to
seen them win these rounds, but on the
somehow
attack
get
side,
advantages
it's a little
elsewhere, like
easier to
get
do.
an entry
The way that
or
they won it was by grouping and
clear in
pushing
map
into
areas
players that were a little
instantly
bit
and,
over aggressive
you know,
in
like
where
push
they
mid.
and how they were trying to defend map control. That's not going to be the case this time. You won't be able to isolate BBL, and from what we've seen so far,
Strongest region heading into
maybe you're gonna
Toronto.
catch
You're gonna ask me that while I'm on a
outside
call with
garage,
Boo?
but that's it.
I think it's
Everyone else
America's.
has been playing this as a unit.
Well, that's the thing. The
Oh, it's
only
China.
person you have a chance to
Damn.
isolate is Magnum, and he's probably
I'm
the
joking.
last person you want to face off against right now. He's 22 and 12. He just 1v1 Zeus.
Yeah.
Zeus, by the way, the guy who is not only
I think it's
probably-
fair that it's
well,
American.
best aimer in FUT is a highly
Yeah.
contested title, but he probably
They got
is.
they got some
And has
Not
the
on
ability
crazy
to-
form.
3K
got some
flick.
strong
You're
teams.
And has the ability
Yeah,
to
yeah.
teleport away at the click of a button.
might be out with the
That's
best
guy
player
that
in the
he
world.
just owns.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's like that was a 1v1 that basically changed the last round. It forced FUT
Arts
to
in.
go for these sort of more
Arts in,
risky
bro.
gambles
You got
over
Arts
towards
in
the
dropping
C side. That can't
400
happen too
ADR.
often, but you also can't
Half.
see those passive plays coming
Just
out from
incredible.
this
I don't know what
defensive
his
side, 'cause
stats
their comp
are,
doesn't really allow it.
but all the other games that I watched,
No
sometimes
surprise
he
to
was
see
like
cracks with the high
crazy
clutch
in all
rate.
of them.
Yeah,
It's on
yeah.
KO. It won't be
It's,
quite the same here as he's point of contact.
Just when he gets that
Fake
judge out,
pressure
man.
mid.
Oh, yes, isn't he?
This
Fake
is this is
pressure mid.
Big one.
this is kind of what I wanted to
Two big
break
ones,
to
in
break the
fact,
camera,
yeah,
but obviously
that's
they've done the A control here. I think the pressure of mid has to happen because they need to be able to flank if they're
But he
going
might
to
have
be
a
giving up
very
signs.
solid percentage when he is. It's definitely
Okay, Magnum just retook mid with
Neon's
one
always a bit
camera.
unorthodox, but I definitely
I mean,
think
they don't
he's
know
up there
that
with
it's clear,
one
actually.
of the most
They
peculiar
didn't clear anything close.
Neons, and right now just up close and personal.
Recon
Maybe
deep
not the guy
down
you'd
C
want to
long
only
kind of
have
cleared
this, so it's not
everything
like he's
apart from
close
like
to his
this corner.
ultimate either.
Okay, here a lot of running on short
And
here
even if he
towards
gets
long.
lost,
What
So
does
rotate
Europe
comes
do?
in.
Oh,
That's a
Back to
great
dead to
shot.
rights.
That's exactly what they need. in this
Flash was
position. BBL
incredible.
come
Hit
in,
2. Yeah,
Blade
dude, you
Storm
can't go in with that.
activated already.
It hit both of the people
That
trying to
operator
entry here.
doesn't want to go through the smoke blind, and in fact doesn't want to go through at all. They're going to wrap this one back around,
Picks up the gun.
leaving
Oh,
the A site, but all
didn't.
those
Tried
steps are
to.
being heard. Cracks not going to overextend, and in fact,
Oh,
those
I
are
wouldn't
fake steps.
stay.
Look where the spike is.
Yeah, I
Wrap
think he
around.
thought he
I
might
just
get
might go
caught
back
like
to
Fire the op. Maybe
midway
he's gonna put a
through.
cloud burst on C and try to drag
Okay,
those
maybe.
rotates.
C
but for now,
fake.
FUT are steadfast in their approach. They're sticking around. Cracks falls, but still a
Like, I
lot
wouldn't stay
to
because
play
he was,
with
like,
from
essentially
his
same as
side.
a
The
trip.
ult even committed
Yeah,
here from
yeah,
Optic. They
you're not-
really
you get
want them
enough
to
in
leave
there.
the A site, but Tom, it has not
The main
worked.
goal is
The
to not
whole
give a kill
body
away.
of FUT is still here, waiting for
Okay,
the
lovely
pinch,
from
and
them.
they get all of them. At a captain.
I mean, that
That's
shot
what
on
I
short
was
decided so
thinking.
much.
Just sealed
But
the
playing
fate of
against Breach,
BBL in
like,
this round, and that
at the
is
furthest
a
right and
huge one
furthest
to
left,
walk away with. The pause
This would
working
because he's never
wonders
gonna hit
evidently.
both. Like, it's
no,
not
they
big
were
enough.
happy to
Yeah, yeah,
basically
yeah.
just throw
And the other
everything
was
into
like
that round.
Max, right?
Obviously, you had a couple of pieces missing, so
Oh, he's
they took
singing.
a big gamble just sticking it out on the A side. But the ruse, the fake, the TP, the Blade Storm, everything was put over
Omen
onto
Flash?
that
No,
C
Omen
side
Flash
just
is
to
like one of the
try
best
and get them to
abilities.
move.
It's so
But the
insane.
solo player that stuck around was enough to just
No, I
go,
think
look,
it's weak. They
they're
should
not
buff
here,
it, so if
stay
you
in your spot,
Yeah,
double
okay.
it,
hold
it
on
goes
that
faster.
angle.
Definitely
And I
not
think
an Omen
Yenergy,
main or anything.
basically
We
spent
ever ordered,
about
dude, Lexi, I actually need to
50
do that.
seconds just AFK in that corner. Just basically just waiting on, I'm not moving. Either you're going to come to me or you're going to plant the spike.
Maybe
And
this
so
is the
what?
week,
If they
Lexi.
do go to the
I
C
think this
site,
is
you
the
don't
week.
even have to play the retake. You've got enough weapons to save. The others can just throw
Okay,
themselves out
fake
and play
bit of
the
pressure over
exit.
towards
Info.
middle
You have
again. Drone
choices
goes out.
there.
It's a bit more of a
And so I
passive,
love the idea to just sit
passive
steady
camera.
and acknowledge that
Dude,
there's a
there we
chance
go.
BBL
Shock the
are trying to
camera.
play off our
Wait,
lower
are they
buy, where
are they
teams
listening to our
often
call?
rotate that little bit faster. Still a buy
Oh,
for
right, they're gonna
BBL.
lose the round.
Levin with the opening
I would have
pick,
set
and
the
it's
chamber
cracks
up.
down
It's
in
like the only
dirt, but
difference, but
Yenergy is the man that's been hard to remove from this site. He's put up numbers, and he's got it
Big
again.
Joe.
One found,
Damn,
helping out his
bro.
teammates and grabbing yet another.
Ah, he
He'll
hesitated.
take the Hunter's Fury
Right,
head
so
on,
like that
but he
all
gets
of his
the info
rotations
for
died.
Mr. Fallen to play with, and the spike
Everyone.
is down in front of him. It's all up to the IGL now.
Two players stand in his way. Magnum, unsociable. A potential
It's
match
winnable.
point on their opponent's choice. One
I
that they
think
had
BBL
a
are playing
very
it
impressive
quite good.
Yeah, and just
first half, and what
the cutter's
Fallen has
sounds
been
make
spotted to be
him
around this area.
start
There's
panicking
plenty
about
of
behind
time
angles.
He knows now.
to play with.
I mean, now he knows.
Yeah, now he sees both.
Sociable, even just looking to take the fight.
It's a nice
Maybe
shot.
a little bit risky, but that is, well, that's
Money's
Sociable's game
not
to a
great.
T.
I was a bit nervous there seeing the recon go out. They just spotted him, and they should have a
A little
decent
bit off topic,
idea.
but
At least
what
I
did you
thought
think
they were
about
trying to
Boaster
sell by
yesterday?
just
His
pumping
reaction
the
after
brakes
that 1v1.
was that
Dude,
they had
giving it?
gone
Oh my
wrapping
god, that
around,
was
that
sick.
someone would be
That
coming
was-
behind, but Mr.
That's like the
Fallen
best
gets
thing
that
I've seen in
information.
Valorant. I don't know.
That's the best thing he's seen in
Yenergy
Valorant.
not being able to survive.
Like,
He was
that
waiting
was
for a
him at
like
I
CS.
series.
on short
It was
for
like
that player
Apex
to
and
try to
CS.
punish
Yeah, no,
alongside
it was
as
literally
he's
like an I
avoiding the
series, man.
Hunter's
He,
Fury.
like
So
when
he tanks
the
it,
teams
but
like
he
next
doesn't
to
get
you,
his pick for his
it
trouble.
was like pure
11 to
passion, dude. It
10.
was sick.
We've seen many a tight game between these
It's the most I've
squads.
ever seen him give it.
And
I was gonna say, I felt like
when
they
he
are
sat down, he
hitting
wasn't
into
even
the way
smiling.
Yenergy is
Like, he
every
was
single time
Angry.
he's pushed
lost
mid.
it.
No, he was
Like, yeah,
angry.
The move from
Yeah.
the captain has found him all the way into the window. He's just run straight down and then even has the ability to teleport out of there. The pure disruption from FUT as they get aggressive.
I think what
in mid
happened
in the
this
early
round is
stages
what
of this round has
Foot
put
should have done
BBL
a bit
firmly on
more,
the back
like
foot.
just a little bit
Big
stupid
recovery
fights,
needed. Weaker weapons,
like to
not
disrupt.
Yeah,
gonna
yeah,
have
just
much of an
start
advantage.
swinging.
Foot have the numbers on site. They think they've isolated Yenergy, and even if they had, that's a big enough challenge to take that man out.
I mean, dude, the
Sociable
comp kinda has to
desperately low
fight.
on Profec coming to the
Yeah, yeah.
rescue,
Oh,
but he's a little
what a
too
trip.
hasty.
What a trip.
Runs right into
Because
the trap.
If you
And now
go
it's
into like
left to the low
5v5s,
HP
I feel like
Sociable.
BBL
The rifle in his hand.
are always going to have
credits
upper
in
hand.
their
But
back
if you do
pocket.
this, even if
No
they would have
point
traded
really
not
in going for
5v3,
the
but like,
save, but
I don't know, even 3v3, I think that's
1v4, not
better for
looking too
FUT,
likely
just
with 40
because their
seconds
comp
on the
like
clock.
kind of
The-
thrives in chaos.
Yeah, plus they probably got a lot of info so that
the firing
they can kind of gamble a bit better. That's a nice setup. Okay, 2 chances. It's been looking a little shaky, but I don't know. If they start to go more aggro over towards mid and garage, it's been paying off.
And that combination of
Next plat chat?
Zeus
Plat
and
chat's on
Panic Captain
Tuesday.
was just such a nasty surprise. Like, I think they even put they put the Hunter's Fury in
I think
just
Mini's
to
on it.
create that extra little bit of
I wanna say
drama to the
Mini's on it.
scene. But the individuals were enough.
Are you like
12
part
to
of
10,
Plat chat at this
FUT
point?
one away from
Sorry, say that again?
heading to split.
Are you part of Plat
With
chat
that
at this
advantage.
Part of it? Nah, not part of it.
Second half
Are you
has
still like a
definitely been
guest,
that
but
little
like,
bit
Yeah,
more
it's still a
I guess
guess.
whatever.
Just
Like
the
you're
most
there every
consistent
time, Joe.
guess. Huh?
You're there every time.
Yeah, pretty much. I'm not here this week though.
BBL had so many safety nets
Oh, okay.
a couple rounds ago.
Yeah, I
With all
would
those
say like
ultimates that they committed up against a lighter buy.
4 out of 5
Try
times
to get them to
every
make
time.
that rotation play, and it didn't come into play.
Maybe more. Maybe I'm a bit more
The ones that
consistent
I
than
think
that.
more.
gotta read,
I
the
think
ones
more.
that
Yeah, I
let the
think more as
individual
well.
step up in this half. Double digits on the board for BBL.
Okay,
They're
pressure
still
over
trailing
towards
by 2. One
garage. They
mistake
do
here.
a smoke and it
This
kind of
map
works
falls
both
out.
It's not
ways.
moving.
It
It's
blocks the
tech,
camera.
tech.
Could
It's
deliver
tech.
that 2-0 right back
Look at
to them.
at the
Oh
captain.
yeah, it is tech.
Spinning
You're
with
not
his
wrong.
mouse.
experience comes in.
Yeah, it is tech.
That depth. of
Dude, yeah,
users
look at the
players
Omen.
that have been
Like
so
his
many
mouse.
times before.
Oh wait, they
What?
typed though. Okay,
BBL
nice. They typed
crumble
though. That's good.
when it
Dude,
matters the
do
most.
you know what annoys me the most?
Look at him go.
Is
Out of
people like
captain's
not
either
typing in
expecting a
tech
very
poses so that
strange
people start
start to come
showing stuff.
through.
Dude, his hands off the keyboard. He's like,
I think we might be rolling this one back.
Yeah, I think someone is literally.
What do you mean by
someone is
type?
playing with his
Like
mouse
that you
on the
type in
stage
chat to
right
enemy
now,
team,
so
like,
that's
not
Just-
live?
I think
Yeah,
nothing
yeah.
maybe being
Yeah, of
cleaned or
course.
just,
I think you should always do that.
I'm looking down
dude,
there, so
there's some games where
maybe
people
at
haven't
the
been
worst
doing that. I've
possible
been losing my
time for
mind.
something like that to happen. All
No,
the
I think that's the
suspense
first thing you do, like-
completely
Yeah.
drained out of the round.
The worst possible time would be if damage had been
I
done.
mean,
would
it's-
be if a
at least
play
for me,
had
it's
been
like a
given
habit
away.
from
Luckily,
CS.
Yeah,
that
it's just what you didn't
doesn't
see.
appear to be the
Exactly.
case. We're in a
Dude, we saw there was a
win
pistol
now.
round in Americas
here
where
it
no one
is.
typed it, and then they just showed their pistol.
Don't worry,
It's
don't
like,
worry.
but they
Don't
knew within the
panic.
fast
I think his mouse might have had
like
a
5
little bit of a
seconds that it
hiccup
wasn't
there.
live.
I'm
It was
sure they'll be
criminal.
on the case quite
And in
quick.
theory, if you tell it to your referee, then the
think it
referee
will-
tells
it
it
will
to
require
the
a-
ops, and then ops tells to
reload,
enemy
as
team
the-
referee, and then
does
enemy
the
team
Yeah,
referee
yeah.
tells
the
the team.
team, but
Dude,
But,
you
I mean,
It's
cut
not
out the
a
middleman.
type.
yeah, he's blending into the background.
He does that quite a bit. He's a sneaky player out of captain.
Yeah, I haven't seen him.
I was like,
teleport into
is
the
he
same
looking
place
up
as
for
much today.
like
Yeah,
to chicken
he-
the
he's
reveal
eased up on that,
on
hasn't he?
short?
I enjoyed
I
doing that
saw him
quite a
spinning,
lot
and I'm
trying
like,
to
okay,
bait
he's not.
opponents. And individually, he's not been having the best display, but when you have Yedege and Zeus having standout performances, technically the double sentinel.
What's the check?
I wonder
Yeah,
how
we can,
many,
we can
how
sit
many
up.
years that mouse has been with him, and this is the moment where the sensor just goes. Oh, it's happened to all of us. I claim it happens to me every game of ranked, but people have stopped believing me now.
Yeah, it's probably because they hear the bang of you throwing it into a wall. Just, but yeah, I think the sensor's gone again.
Mate, just so unlucky.
As has every other piece of the mouse.
Oh, it's entropy, bro. It's entropy. It's hit me again. I can't believe it.
You need like a mouse sponsor for like an indestructible mouse. I think that would be.
What about
probably
Nathan
exists,
K?
and
Is
it
he going
probably isn't
somewhere?
that good.
Who?
Oh, don't scare
Not
the
tank.
sponsors away.
Unless
Oh
you
yeah,
have a
he's meant to be
mouse,
going
then I will
Gentlemates,
test
right?
EMEA.
Yeah?
No, he's meant to be going
Nice.
Koi.
Hopefully he's got a backup.
Koi.
Or whatever was
Koi.
being done with him spinning around, staring at the sky was actually
The rumor
the quick
is.
fix.
Let's see if we
But
can
yeah,
get this.
obviously a suspenseful
Feeler?
moment.
The tank.
One round away
Flyer.
from
Oh, they're
taking
kicking
this to
Flyer?
Baddie,
split
no, they keep him flyer.
a map where
Kicking
Yeah,
Soul
kicking,
Cats.
one
Yeah.
best of
Baddie
all,
G.
up until they went into the game versus Vitality.
And
Then they just
Monster.
looked incredible. Like we had some of the
Monster,
best performances from Yeda Jesus and, well, the man on screen. Well, I think we've seen all season.
I thought
Monster
Monster
trolled the
quit.
Fantastic in that map, so
Yeah, he
clearly
did.
a reason
He
that
did
they
quit.
feel that extra
That's what I mean by
little bit more
trolled.
comfortable
He-
going into it versus the side
He
of
quit for school or
BBL.
something like
kind
that?
of avoided it.
Then he came back
for
a year
this
later or something,
split,
but
and I think
I'm
a lot
telling
of
you,
that is
I think
down
it was
to
like
we haven't really
when
seen
Ascend didn't
anybody
get
running
into
Jet on that map anymore.
franchising.
Levin has
Mhm.
basically gone back to
And-
purely playing Jet.
I don't know if he didn't wait
So it'll
enough
be
or
an
something, but
interesting conversation
I
of
heard
does
so
he
many
now
people, like,
continue to play that
you know,
Yoru
talking about,
as he
like,
had done in the past?
we
Has he
trialed
been
him,
working
or
on the
maybe we
Raze,
wanted to
or
trial
are they
him to
actually
VCT
gonna go
teams.
back to that sort of
Like,
old
Neil
school
wanted to
Jet,
trial him,
Raze,
for
double
example.
duelist,
Yeah,
which
yeah,
I'd
he's
like
good.
to
But
see.
like,
But
he
if
just
you're
quit.
mapped down, that is a gamble.
Well,
Yeah, I
we've
think you
seen
gotta
teams
stick it
make
out.
that gamble before. It was
I mean, of
Vitality,
course,
wasn't it, who pulled
we
out
never
a little
know
bit
what
of
was
an
happening in
unusual
his life.
composition when it came to
True.
series
Maybe he
point.
felt that's
Yeah,
the
It's
right
certainly not
decision.
The comp wasn't that
I will say
unusual,
as
it's just
well,
that Safe
like,
had gone back to
until
a duelist.
you guys, like, I feel like
Yeah,
you
I feel
guys
like we really
inspired
haven't
a
seen
lot of
that
teams
since
to
Yoru
make
has
changes
become
as well
popular.
and
It
like
just is a
test
better
out some of
version
the
okay,
tier
I
2
want this
players.
space, I can
Like
just
if you actually
teleport
look
there
back at the
rather
amount of
than
changes
having to
teams made in
throw something,
2023,
dash, try and get through
nowhere
utility. Like,
near
there's so much more
what it
risk
is like now.
to it. And
Yeah,
also
for
a
sure.
lot of the
I mean, I think
elevated
KC, I would
positions
say.
you get,
Yeah.
I feel
We were
like you can do
just-
better with blast.
Our results are
Like,
better, but
especially
KC
spots you
also
want to
did
get
it.
into,
Yeah, yeah.
and with the nade and with the showstopper. So I'm genuinely interested, and that's a map that's obviously guaranteed coming up next, and then Ascent.
We need Ascent.
Well, I feel like we do. I feel like we need a do-over.
So strange that neither team picked it, huh?
Yeah. I think
Mouse is back.
for FUT as well.
Yeah,
you
it looks
lose
like his mouse
that,
is
you
back.
kind of want to go into it again and go, hey, you beat us by the narrowest of margin. But nonetheless, that is enough waffling from myself and the man they call Mitch. We're going to be going over to the analyst desk for a little bit, as we'll be back with the game soon.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the
Wait, they go
Analyst,
desk?
couch.
Yeah, might
we
take a
didn't
little
get
bit
to
apparently.
see you, Gorilla Harry in the pre-show, so welcome back. How are you doing?
I'm good, thanks.
Did you watch the game yesterday?
I did.
After
Like
you left?
yeah, the last map. Yeah, it's really good game.
Did you manage to sleep after it?
I slept so good last night.
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh, I
like the
can't
night
relate.
before, I couldn't sleep, but after I saw Fnatic won that.
Oh,
you
you're
know.
being sarcastic. I love that. No, I actually didn't sleep that well. What about you, Billy?
No, I slept rough. I feel like the adrenaline of that match was just, it couldn't wear off for me. It was such a banger series to close out the day.
Oh yeah, I felt exactly the same. I've been told that they're actually on their way to the studio to watch the next game or the second map of this
That's
game.
wholesome.
So we will see them in the crowd. You
Oh
guys
yeah,
make
1
sure
hour
to
ago,
watch out for
there's
them.
a report
Now,
about
I was
nothing.
watching Sliggy watch party VCT Pacifics
Oh.
earlier, and he was getting really upset that we don't talk about him enough on the show. You know, he's like, they never talk about me.
Where's this come from?
It was about the other streamers.
We
so
mentioned him literally yesterday, no?
Yeah,
Did
he
we
just-
not?
He loves to
I
cry.
swear we
He's
did.
just crying. So I thought
think Yinsu is
we
like the
talk about
biggest
him a little
instigator.
bit. We did this
It's
segment
wild, isn't it?
before the last time we had some tech pauses, which is talking about some of the goats. You know, some of the goats in our scene. So when you think of Sliggy,
Oh boy.
what maps or agents or comps
Gorilla's
or,
gonna
you know,
flame me.
What's his legacy when you think about him? When we talk about him?
The no smokes Haven comp
I knew you
from
were gonna
was
say
it
that.
2020, 2021?
Yeah.
Oh, it was bind.
Dude, it's
that for me
binds.
is definitely,
People keep
Yeah, yeah.
people keep
I
changing the
think it was
map.
Haven, yeah.
Oh,
I was
some reason I thought it was Ascent for some
Dude,
reason.
see, look-
Probably did it on more than one
Yeah.
map.
No,
Look,
it's
look at
fine.
him go,
It's
bro.
fine,
Gorilla,
fine, fine.
Gorilla is way
Or
more
are they just
qualified
trolling
to
you?
answer this
No, they're
question.
just making it. They're
Oh.
just.
Like I was
They're trying to
I
make
was
it out to be
casual
3
viewer back
maps.
then. No offense, Sliggy. Like
You
don't
didn't miss
want to
any.
offense
You didn't miss
Sliggy,
much.
but
Yeah, you missed like Rainer on Ascent, Rainer on Icebox.
Yeah, bangers.
I think was it Rainer? No, it wasn't Rainer on Haven.
Phoenix, there's
Yeah,
Phoenix on Ascend. there's
Phoenix on Ascent.
Yeah,
Rainer
13
on
wins in a
Bind,
row.
Phoenix on
You're
Bind
welcome.
as well. Yeah.
You did miss Link in on Bind with a judge.
In the hookah.
That was
Yeah.
iconic. But does Sliggy take credit for that? Do you think?
Yes.
I mean, I don't know. I'd have to give that one to Trav, no?
What I
That's
will say, though,
crazy.
what he definitely does not take credit for is the molly on Bind, the B long molly.
Out of the team
on
by
attacks
then,
that
not
they
my
really
team.
used to shoot into Garden on Bind, the Viper molly.
Oh, right. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
no, wait.
He
This
claims
was
that
mine.
He came up with that, but he stole it and then just.
I
thought,
didn't-
like,
dude.
Maybe people wouldn't take notice of the fact.
That's
that he stole it and said it was
crazy.
his. What about you?
We
as
were
a
using this
coach,
way
what's your
before everyone else.
proudest, you know, thing that you firmly believe
Bro,
that
they
is
just
yours?
glitched to the desk to flame
KO
you.
on Icebox.
Ah,
I was
Wild,
always
isn't
a
it?
big pusher, like back when I was trialing with FBX for KO. I remember a discussion with Angel about he wanted to run Sky and I wanted to run KO. And he was talking
He wanted to run Sky
he wanted to run
on Icebox.
he wanted to run
That's
Sky on
crazy.
Icebox. And he was like, yeah, but you can use the dog to clear yellow. And I remember just throwing a KO knife at it, and I'm like, you can clear it that way as well. But no, I'm a really big believer on KO on Icebox.
Yeah, but they were.
I'm
They
fuming.
did run a
So
lot
shit,
of
the only
KO
reason she's bringing it
places
up is because
that
Bosa
other
says that he
people
made
didn't
it.
do So I'm sure
And
Sliggy's
that-
gonna say that was him.
Yeah,
if he's
probably.
watching this video. Actually, that was me. But since we are on
The
Haven,
only
any
the only person that
Haven
can prove it is
Go
Bacon, I
candidates,
think.
You think?
okay,
Kind
and
of makes you remind you of Haven whenever we
But is
talk
it
about
worth it?
Haven?
Not really.
most recent memory, as in like this year, Derka.
Ah, okay. He's a good shout. Sick.
Oh yeah, on the
It
Phoenix.
has to be sick.
Yeah.
I don't think I'd ever forget the things that he did on the
Where
map.
they
Yeah, what
go
about
put
you?
the T-shirt on that
Probably-
causes the
I
tech
think it was
pause. Honestly, I might at this point.
UCAM Viper comp.
Get him working overtime.
Yeah, during when Viper and Sky were at the peak of their picked.
Not the loud Viper stuff.
No,
but
UCAM did it
yeah.
first. That wall from A
Yeah.
to B that
Wait,
covered.
Oh, that wall.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, and you could walk down short, jump on the box, drop the
Yeah, yeah,
wall,
yeah.
and then yeah.
I think I like Sadak's one better. The one from here, this spot.
Oh, the one that
This
goes across?
Yeah,
Yeah,
this one right there. And also the attack wall from A, that goes down to short. I like that one. So okay, but what about a player? Which player do you think is a GOAT of Haven? I have a rogue shout. I have a really rogue shout. Dijazine.
Ooh,
The
yeah.
GOAT
That
of Haven.
MF on this map is ridiculous.
I don't even
do you
know,
know
man.
who's my GOAT? Not so much of. Actually, could be my GOAT of Haven. It's Kukuka. Have you ever played KO on Haven? You like KO?
I think for me it
yes,
would be
probably,
Drax.
yes, but I'm not.
Drax.
Are we speaking
Yeah,
about
I
this
think
map
Drax
and
on
not
top of
speaking
Haven,
about
yeah.
Hello guys, how you doing?
Crazy
Buddy G
good.
on the Phoenix.
Oh yeah,
Or
Bad
Leo.
Bunny.
Kalista?
Oh, yeah.
But I don't
Yeah,
remember
but
Leo.
Sick on the Phoenix though.
I kind of forgot
Sick
how Leo
made-
played at this
Sick
point.
made feet.
Leo,
Sick did
see, Leo
play
Leo
Phoenix
for me
so
was
much
the
that
GOAT of
everyone else
Breeze.
thought it was was a good idea to play Phoenix.
Yeah.
on
Leo
Haven.
dominated
course.
that map.
Again, one of the players that played
He shit
Phoenix
on
on
us on that
Haven.
final.
But yeah.
Lowell, you like Lowell?
remember.
But that was on a sense.
Yeah, I sent. Oh, and actually, his Haven. Oh, his Phoenix on Haven was atrocious. Oh my god, his Phoenix was diabolical in like a. No, sorry to call you out.
It was terrible.
Bad.
It was bad.
Like Angel's Phoenix on Haven. Oh
See,
my
I'm so challengers pilled because
Yeah.
when I think of Phoenix, I think of Benny on CGN
Oh.
last year. That's so bad.
It was bad.
yeah.
It was terrible.
No, but I
I'm
think-
so sorry.
Hey, him looking B, it was
was-
something else, no?
It was an amazing support Phoenix. You know, as
Sure,
a support
yeah.
Phoenix, as support Phoenix's go, I think is.
You
really
should have played
The
more.
Flame podcast. Yeah, look at him go. Holy.
What about? How about? Oh, Scream.
Bunch of sideshows.
I really like Yumpy and all the iterations
Yeah.
of
On
Yumpy and
Haven?
on the Omen playing up, on the Killjoy playing up,
Yeah.
on the Breach playing up.
I think
that kinda Yumpy.
Scream Sage on Haven.
Mm.
That
Oh,
brings
that
me
was
back.
good. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Against Oxygen
The
specifically.
Battle Sage.
Yeah, specifically.
They put in the wall and
You
just
know,
push
What
it.
about
recently
Nevada
I had a
Omen?
conversation with Alpha.
Helping
just
That was good, yeah.
Remember
Don't
when
ask
KC
why,
was
about Oxygen.
running
and
team comp on every
he
map?
named
Oh, yeah,
every
where they-
single player that played on that roster.
They,
like
they
that.
played my
Like
one and done
those-
on split.
Yeah, yeah,
and
like
they played it
zero
like 6
struggle,
times in a row.
just ripped them off, and I was like,
Just
how do
trap
you-
play with the
'cause he was
camera every time.
14 when that happened.
That was
So I was
crazy.
like, how do you remember this when you were 14 years old that these players were playing for Oxygen? But that was a good time. That was a
Dude,
good time.
K-Corp
And what about
2023 was
Turkish
like the
players?
best time
How do
ever
you
to
feel about
watch.
Turkish players on Haven.
It was so
I
sick.
don't know, like when I look back and I start thinking about Haven.
Do you know
I
what? Do you know what the
just never
closest
forget the
closest
one.
I've
It
seen to
really
that
feels like it
recently?
was yesterday.
Vitality split the other day. That was the closest
And
I've
when we had
seen.
the
That was
conversation with
crazy.
Riker after, and he was like,
Hello,
I don't even know
Fliggy.
like how Reyna works.
Hello.
I didn't need to know.
Thank you
how
for
to
the
dismiss.
raid today.
Of course, Mini Boo. It's so good, man.
Dismisses were good.
Thank you for saying thank
I
you.
know it's Turkish on Haven.
Yeah, okay, good luck.
Yeah.
Thank you, man. Good luck in your next games as well.
Yeah, I think that's a good shout. I think
Hello,
a
I'm back.
Foot probably
Hello.
sneaks
Love
his
that.
way in there. Now we talk about Oxygen, just them getting owned on Haven against Liquid is burnt into my brain. But there was another thing I wanted to ask you about Turkey, but I forgot. So someone else want to yap for a little bit?
No, they asked what's
while
your
I
legacy.
gather my thoughts.
What's
For
my
me, your
legacy?
legacy is the
Yeah.
Sligger more than Lotus.
We do not want to yap about this match.
No,
That's my
no,
legacy?
it might be
Dude, I
over.
wasn't even
Yeah,
coaching at
it
that.
might be done.
That's a good
Yeah,
molly
yeah,
though.
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Like it's
Can I
it's
ask like a very
such a
random
sick
question?
molly.
Yeah, go
It's a
for it.
good molly,
No, we
right?
haven't
What's your Roman
we haven't
Empire?
even improved it.
My
I don't know if I
Roman
should say it in
Empire.
stream.
The thing that just keeps
Go on.
coming
But-
back to
Make
your
it
head.
Valorant related. Make
Time
it
and time
Valorant
again.
related. Yeah.
You
Nah,
improved
in
it?
Weber with Army.
You used it, right?
What is this moment that you cannot
No, yeah, of
escape
course we use
from?
it.
Like
Okay.
one kind of memory. Like for example,
But
you
like
know,
we
like,
improved it.
Okay,
We used
okay.
another agent.
Maybe
to
my
do the
Roman
same.
Empire
Okay, yeah,
is
yeah, yeah.
Apex losing Ascension.
Yeah,
Cup
that molly's
finals
good,
against
man.
Gentlemates.
You think about that often?
I
But
do.
almost no one knows
Oh.
about
It was
it.
I remember like
Ah,
I
dude.
remember the
It's crazy.
sadness that day.
Yeah, that was a sad.
Dude,
My
this is what I
Roman
mean
Empire
as
is
well.
really
It's
left
wild because I
field.
still
Like,
see people
it's
start the
actually
Viper over towards
a little
A,
bit concerning
and
how
they don't
often
have
I
that
think
fast
about this.
rotate.
Okay.
Yeah.
Liquid versus Sentinels on Breeze. Zoms.
But Gen G
getting
stole
a
it, but they
1v3
stole it
with a
from you because you
classic,
guys used that.
in the post plant. I don't
Yeah, I
know
don't
if
think
anybody
they were
else thinks
sort
about
of
this as often as
subscribe to
I
your
think about it.
Patreon.
Kim, I'm sure maybe our producer.
Dude, I have loads
but
of
I think
lineup
about
stuff
that a
that is
lot.
still used, but
None of you remember
most
that.
of them were like boombot stuff,
None of
and
you
that
guys remember
got
that
wrecked.
Breeze 1v3.
Well, first of all, I do not have a memory.
Yeah,
Do
that's
you remember the
right.
old
And
boom
also, like,
bottom
when I think
binds?
of
Oh, we
Breeze,
had used
when
that
you watch
way
it, you'll be
before
like,
everyone
oh,
else. That was
yes,
sick.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which one, the
Uh,
hookah?
But when I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
of
Is it Sui?
Breeze, no,
Yeah, I mean, at
actually,
some
I was gonna
point,
say Boo because I believe
any
that
player
one of the first
that
times, if not
plays
the first time,
Valorant
this
knew
is
that
a moment
line.
actually that I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
about a lot. Whenever I hear Pansy casting Boo, I remember the first time that she ever casted him, and I remember her. I think it was on Breeze, and I remember her saying, "Boo, I like this name. I hope we have it more often." And now look at him.
Oh,
so every
that
single
must
time,
have been when he was
OG
on.
London
Oh, it would have been
United.
before that.
And lucky you
it was,
guy.
I think it was,
Casted him a
it was
lot
before
before that.
London United. You know, before it was like the
Yeah.
full
But
thing.
she would have casted him on like Prodigy and No Panky.
No, I don't think
teams
she
like
did.
that.
I don't think she did. And if she did, she did not remember because I remember specifically her saying, "Boo." I like how that's
He
with
was
that
on No
accent
Panky,
that Lauren
right?
has.
Am I going crazy? First Strike. Was he playing for No Panky? Was he on that roster? I might be lying. I might
Were
be
you?
lying.
You might
Maybe that was the
No, I
Pipson
don't.
roster.
At first
Yeah,
track I
yeah,
wasn't
that
present
was
here.
the
Okay,
Pipson
might be
I
right.
already left Narpink.
Yeah. Ignore me.
But Narpink
For
was
me,
our
I think it
team,
would
yeah.
be the
Yeah.
Nitro
Just the mix.
steal, like avoid CNED.
Yeah,
Just
yeah, yeah,
and
on
it's
Breeze.
on Breeze,
On
and
Breeze,
it's
yeah.
something that I've taken with me to every team. Whenever I play against CNED, it's just
Oh.
avoid him. We have spots around the map, like the ice box. You know, you have yellow, and then the box next to it. That's called CNED, because CNED always sits on that spot. So it's something that.
Dude, it had to take this long to roll back
In
around.
general,
Yeah.
why is all of ours on Breeze? Oh my goodness, I hate that map. I don't even like
I
that
love
map.
Breeze.
That's traumatic.
What was
Yeah.
the last time we saw Breeze?
In hell,
Yeah.
in my worst
my
nightmares.
nightmares?
Yeah, literally.
It was stage 1
You
last
think
year,
Breeze
no?
will come back over?
Was it?
It
Yeah.
was
Yeah,
when the
I
door
think
was
so,
there,
sadly.
then the door wasn't there, then the door was
Yeah.
there again.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
All
yeah,
they used
yeah.
to do is
I
close
reckon that
the
when we
tube
have it,
again
is there-
and
is there going to
Yeah.
be a
just
door?
I
play
hope
the
there's
map.
2 doors.
Yeah, I
I hope
agree.
they make like 3 doors, you
Yeah.
know?
I don't think they'll
I
do
hope
it
they
though.
completely remove tube
Oh,
again.
I remember
That was
because it was
best.
Yeah,
like
you liked
it was
that?
like Dirke
No,
and
there's
his whole
things-
thing
things
about how
big.
he was going to be
Yeah.
playing the Yoruna.
Yeah. Alpha's
I remember
neon.
that.
I think
Really
like
good.
95%
I
of
really
people
enjoyed
would
his
prefer
neon on
tube
Breeze.
closed.
Close the
They
tube,
did the
yeah.
whole
It made
warm-up
so much
neon
more
on
sense.
it.
I can't believe they
That
took
was
it.
cool.
They put it back
I
in.
really enjoyed his neon.
I think that
Not so
whenever
much
Like,
on
listen
top.
to the
I think
small
that,
minority, like,
I'm down
complaining
to
about it.
give Breeze another chance when
No,
it
it's
when it
like-
comes back.
It's
Yeah,
gonna
I think
come back.
to that
It's
point,
in-game.
Yeah.
Riot was
It's
known
going to
for
take one
never
game,
reverting
or
a single
I think
change
it's because when
ever.
it happened,
Yeah.
when the
And then
when
they
the map was
reverted
especially when it was
the
first
one
introduced,
change
we had
that
so
was
many
good.
long games over times. It got very repetitive, and to me, it
I mean,
just
yeah,
felt
pretty
like,
much.
What's this movie that it's the same
I
day
mean,
over and
no,
over
they had
again?
more
Yeah,
Groundhog
Groundhog
Day.
good
Day.
changes, but like
Groundhog Day.
Groundhog Day.
Yes,
the
it
reverted
was,
one
to me, it was like that because I remember.
was the
Do you
good
remember
one.
Harry?
Especially
Just
map
Harry,
changes,
when
they
we-
didn't really
Just
revert.
Harry.
Like, that's the first ever map
Um,
change I think
yeah.
they
The
reverted.
CS caster, we had him
Oh, the
for...
tall Harry.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes, the ginger one. Love the guy. We had him to cast when we were in Freaks for You back in the 2021.
Yeah, 2022, would have been 22.
And
Yeah.
and him and I casted a Breeze, and it was like one of the first times that he ever casted Valorant. And it was a Breeze.
Was
And
it? That's good to hear.
It was like a 2018. And when we were done, he told me, "Is this always like this?" And I was like, "Well, on Breeze, yes. In the rest of the maps, we're going to see." But at some point, we literally saw the same round being played 4 times in a row.
That map, not my favorite, but
You see the
I think
governor wrist injury
Suigetsu
post?
needs a special
Um,
mention
I
for
mean,
Breeze
he-
against Paper X as
I
well.
think
He
that,
stepped down anyway,
especially
so
with
yeah.
with the
He stepped down
fun
because of the
ascents
injury, I
that we've
think.
been seeing,
Dude, loads of
I'm
players
down
are
to
getting
give it a
injured
second
recently.
try, you know?
I
I'm
keep
down to be
seeing
like, I'm gonna see if I can
keep seeing
enjoy it.
Cruz
Again,
with
it's
his
going to
arm
last
in
for
a
one map,
Yeah.
but, you know,
in
my
something
mental
as
is
well.
there,
He needs to-
EMA, positive mental attitude, and we'll see how it goes.
Needs to
For
kind
me,
of
it's
relax
like,
a little bit.
like fool me once, shame on me.
And we also
Fool me
have
twice,
many Bon Wood that
still
have
shame on
problems
me.
with
Yeah.
empathic
Yeah.
again.
Now if they fool me 3
problems.
times, it's just not gonna happen. It's not gonna
But
happen.
like you just need to take care of
but
it.
I mean,
Yeah,
maybe
yeah.
with,
Do you guys have, like,
Melee and
routines
stuff,
that you do?
Maybe with all the other
I wonder,
silliness
I mean,
that we're
I wonder
getting.
if
Not
they
me,
will
I don't have, but
change
like
it. You know,
many
I'm
Bon
down
Wood,
to give
yeah,
it a
they
Any
do.
shot.
leakers?
But like
You got
usually
any
they just
leakers?
I
Any
honestly
leakers
don't
in
know.
it's
chat?
usually
Yeah.
bad
Sometimes
when
I
they
might know
just
some
play
things
too
and I
much.
won't say it, but for this one, I actually
Okay.
don't have a clue.
So
That's
they
the thing,
just
though. I'm
play
thinking
less.
about all the new agents.
Yeah,
that we
yeah.
have,
Was
like,
like
with
he's
Waylay,
like
yes.
full
Teho, I could see.
Teko's
Full gym
missing
mode.
out. Teko's
So he's
dying soon.
doing
We're-
everything.
He's
yeah.
gone.
Harry's wearing
He's
black.
full
But like
gym.
Vice, like how
Wood
are
is
you
more
gonna play
like-
Vice on Breeze?
He's doing
Not
something when
playing
it
Open.
hurts.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I'm trying to
Just don't play Breeze.
But he's usually just
Yeah,
not overplaying
that
and
can
then
work.
it's fine. And Patitech had like
Deadlock.
Deadlock, I mean, with some
Like
of
with
our
He
the
had
wall, like the wall.
quite a lot of pain from what I remember, but it also went away somehow. I don't know.
Barrier mesh.
Yeah,
It's
but-
fine.
mesh.
Dude, it happens often,
Like,
man.
it's a common-
possibilities.
Oh, it's
common.
it's
Yeah.
super common.
I mean,
Yeah,
I feel
it's
like with some of our teams in the league right
just
now,
not a
you know,
normal
Liquid are
movement that gets
definitely
used
gonna
all the
lean into
time.
that when it comes back. Navi is
Eric
gonna
Hazer,
go
thanks so much for the
straight in
prime.
with
Thank you.
Little shenanigans.
Did you
like
get
that
into playing
also.
video game? I mean, it's literally
you missed
just
out on our Sliggy discussion earlier.
it's
Oh, well,
repetitive.
what
It's
is,
RSI.
What do you think
Kid
about?
you not, I was preparing to tell a straight
Oh.
on Navi and the deadlock.
What do you think about when we? Well, what is
Oh,
a
God, here we
Sliggy's
go.
legacy? You think? What is
Watch
what is
parties.
what is exactly? What is his? What is
He is better
wholeheartedly
watching
his?
Liquid than Coach. To me, I think of
The no smokes comms already been mentioned.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
I think that's
Him
very-
stealing
that's-
stuff
that's-
has also
that's
been
easy.
mentioned.
I think I asked him one question that to me stuck to me forever, and is when there was this point in Team Liquid, a very long moment in time where there was no IGL. And they thought they could run it like that because it was the system that they had created. I asked him, so how do you, who plans the rounds? Like, how does that work when you're in
They're
game?
talking about
like,
you?
if you do not
Yeah.
have someone that makes the decisions, when are the decisions being made? And like, how do you operate? And he told me that what he did was that he would give them a plan for the first 6 rounds. Then after 6 rounds, he would call a timeout and he will give them a plan for the next 6 rounds.
Wow. Damn, Sliggy.
So he
Was
was
it real?
IGL in
Yeah,
coaching.
you had
Just like
you had
Harry.
plans. It wasn't 6. We had plans for our first 5 rounds, and then you have ult plans, and then everyone has 2 ult strats and choose between the 2 ult strats. And then if you're 1 orb away, we had so many protocols for just having no caller.
You will hear if he was or he wasn't. It doesn't matter.
And then you, like if you're 1 away from an orb, then obviously you have like set default to go get orbs, and you can just call.
It's the same as me.
Let's get this orb and then do this.
You are aware that we're in Germany. Like he could just.
But normally our 3rd, 4th, our 3rd and our 5th round would normally be like anti.
He could be literally sitting in the audience right now.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah, we wouldn't know.
I'm a Niso defender. All right. This is a
Then you
chat
just
for a
stop
whole other time.
coaching.
Whole other time.
Which
and I
lineup
feel like
was it?
if I am a Niso defender, because
Well, the one that they're talking
played
about.
against Summon FC, so yeah.
Like, no,
and
like,
also in that
when did you
final,
stop
it wasn't
coaching? What was
him
your,
that
like,
was
the last
insane. It
players?
was
Oh,
He was
I stopped
ridiculous. He
coaching
had some of
after
the,
2nd
best
Reykjavik,
rounds I've
so
ever seen out of anyone in that grand
end of
final.
May
We miss
2021.
him. We miss you. The battle stage. To me, he is the battle stage.
It was
who's
still
your
like
battle
Scream,
stage? You're gonna
Soulcast.
say Kaya.
I'm gonna say
Scream,
Kaya.
Soulcast,
Besides
Yampi,
Link.
Who's
Yeah,
your
Link,
battle stage outside
Never.
of City?
Scream.
Scream?
Yeah. Scream.
Oh, never.
Tank.
Okay.
No, no,
Yeah,
no,
the tank is up
He's
there.
on the wall.
Yeah.
He's doing
I feel
wall.
like Forsaken.
Okay.
Forsaken is up there. Yeah, Forsaken on any agent.
2022?
Literally any.
Yeah, that is
Brimstone,
right actually.
Forsaken.
Are there any
2022.
agents Forsaken
Yeah.
hasn't played?
Yes,
May
there's like
2020.
3, I believe.
And
There are
they're the
3.
last 3 ones that came out?
No, it's not even that. But there
But
are
we
3 that
came,
he has not played. I think it's 3. Maybe it's
like
2.
7th to 8th
Actually, it
or
might be
something.
Brimstone. I don't know why I said Forsaken.
At
I think that's probably
Masters.
why it was in my brain.
And man, I
Some
just
things played
like we
Brimstone,
still should have
Yeah.
been loud, but I
Yeah.
just
One
knew
more
we were
take
done,
off.
There
man.
you go. There you go.
Like we
but
couldn't win.
I would
It's
love
just
to
too
see
hard without an
Forsaken in
IGL.
EMEA.
Hmm.
Think about EMEA with
next
him.
import.
Why did you never get one?
He is probably.
We tried.
I think it's pretty hard to
You
get. I
can
don't know.
Trust me, we
pull him
tried.
on so many teams. Imagine Na'Vi,
But
Forsaken, Angels.
it's a
Fate.
bigger-
Angel
a
will not
bigger
be playing
question.
Until later. For now, we are gonna jump
Out of my
back into game.
nothing I
for
could
what
do.
Looks like inevitably Mission Tom in overtime. Over to you.
Just one overtime, Sue? Don't sell us short like that with these
There was
two
a moment
teams.
where we could have,
We could be here all
but
day
it was
just for
prime
Haven. 2 rounds,
jet
though, for BBL to lock in an
meta,
overtime foot on the
so we
defense,
needed a
and
jet
they
op
have been
that we didn't
looking
have.
pretty decent
So I
here. We
just got
knew that
Yampi.
BBL had a strong defense to show, but it went missing today.
Yeah, for sure. No, they had a rougher first half, and then it has been those sort of battles back
Okay,
and forth.
we're back.
Of course,
Two-
the timeline looks
two
a little
chances
bit
for FUT to
interesting
close this
right
one
now,
out.
but
Okay,
we
they're
had
prepared to play
ourselves
35
a
rounds.
reset.
Yeah, I saw it. Yeah.
Zeus is already
Aggro trip around the corner. Magnum for sure heard this. Dude, wait, is
He's
Magnum?
too scared.
Cracks being
I mean-
the main catalyst alongside that chamber for BBL.
Yeah, I mean, especially when you see the
Said that
stun,
there
I
was
get
gonna be
it.
a-
Straight in towards that
Yeah,
lead.
instant
Mr.
reaction in
Fallen
terms of B
already
hit over
here.
towards here.
Jet
Oh,
And-
making his way
Mr.
past, and while Mr. Fallen in the corner gets traded out, Bo and a captain goes huge.
I'll tell
think
you
that's
what, his
it,
mouse
right?
is working now. That's a quick double up for
Did we
Anakin.
wait 20 wait 20 minutes for
Indeed, the
one
map
round?
Could be theirs as a result. He falls though.
Oh.
Magnum
No?
finds him
No.
here and now. When
Yeah?
needed most. Another 3-piece for Magnum, and they'll have another shot.
No way! Dude, that's how he played the 1v1. That's crazy.
He saved the day
Yeah,
again.
I think he could have
The music
been a
started
little
playing
bit more
for a second. It was
composed.
so close to that round going
Well,
over
the
line.
2v4
The jumping
probably
shots
should have
being
been
made
the
by
end of the
Energy, I
map.
think realizing I'm going to be revealed any second. I've got to try something. I've got to take a risk here. But I don't know how they turn this back. It's the reverse of that first half. And well, there's no doubt that
I mean,
if you
FUT
have
tried to
tactical
play it
pause
together,
here, you
but
better use it for
didn't
doing
work.
just that.
Yeah.
They need a second.
They're going to be seeing a lot of wingman profile pictures tweeting out very soon. One
Coach
round
can
away.
please.
As if they
Magnum
weren't already.
25 and 14. No.
But guys was not sending it this year as much as last year, right?
Nah.
Or
I
was
mean, he
it?
nearly had a heart attack the other day when I was watching him though.
I
Yensu-
think I saw the clip where he like kind of put his hand on his
on his heart, yeah, where he's getting too into it. Yinstu, stop flaming me. You can't have a whole segment dedicated to flaming me. That's messed up.
As we get towards the end of the game, this is where FUT have been dangerous though.
It was nice. I mean, yeah, it was
Every
great.
single time there's been a high pressure round in this map, it seems like it goes their way.
That you guys bigging me up?
Captain
That's
is
crazy.
not ideal, and
I would hate to
funnily
see what
enough,
you guys
0
call flaming
ultimates
if that's you guys bigging me up.
coming in online to round 24. One or two of them close, the tour de force, but for Zeus that at times has felt meaningless. But it all comes down to this this one chance. Both sets of coaching staff have had an opportunity to talk to their players, come up with a singular idea, but the plan, if I'm honest, for FUT looks exactly the same. Set up aggressively on this A site.
Okay, stun goes in. They make it look like the Neon setting up here. But this is where the comp's good.
Just stepped out of range of that
Whoa.
TP. Okay, gets right
That's
back
okay.
in just in time.
That's so fine.
The pressure
They definitely
applied,
don't need
BBL
to use
get
this
map
drone
control,
early.
but
You
they've
can just
sent a
wait.
lot of the squad
Okay.
backwards.
I mean, I
They're just
say they
getting
can wait, but they've
Magnum
actually kind of
embedded
timed this
for the late
perfectly.
round. Whether it's going to be the flank play,
But
Cypher's
Magnum
so
knows
far
that
away,
they know.
right?
or whether this is a
You reckon he was close enough to hear this?
But the C side
drone?
certainly
Yeah.
a bit more open.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
I mean, I
The
think.
orbs isn't changing too much. It seems
I mean,
like
it's
they are
planned,
going
so maybe.
to look to
Maybe not.
dive in towards this setup. Yedoje has been an absolute
Kill trip for
superstar.
Garage, but they got no one over towards Garage.
Krax is here as well. They've still
World
left
Citizen with a Prime.
solo
Thank you for the
side
5
behind
months,
and
dude.
just
Thank you for
ground
that.
to a halt, maybe expecting that there'll be some sort of swing, some sort of peak, some sort of hunt
Okay,
for information.
cut a bit of sound
Yeah,
pressure
because
over
Judge is
towards
on
A.
attack.
It did slightly bait those rotations
Yeah.
back. Cracks under pressure, paranoia thrown through, but they
So
still
you.
hold the line at the back.
Dude,
of
if
the
anything,
side.
that's my
wraparound
legacy,
coming in
man. The
from
judge
behind,
has to
though.
be.
Yumpy, Prophet,
At
combined
least that's
they're
what I
winning
tried to do.
a kill apiece and a captain already here though, but he can't find a single kill. It leaves Mr. Farlin and Zeus.
The big
And
one
this
as well.
Mr. Fallen off.
That's my skin right here.
He's a madman with the bookie, but he's going to be mad once that smoke fades.
Yampy.
Never mind. He survives the blast of the judge, and Zeus comes in to help him out with the next. This
Surely
round is
not.
far
No,
from
I mean, no
over.
time.
Magnum
Somehow,
still
please.
draws breath, the hero that has been
Okay, all good. All
for
good.
BBL, and he
Definitely had
buys
him
them
worried
at
there.
overtime.
You shouldn't have
Are they
needed
gonna
to
be
about that.
regretting that 2v4 over towards B last
That
round?
was
Oh
a
my goodness.
2 versus 5 as they tried to retake
Oh,
it
dude, this
somehow.
is the team that has the
Zeus
record,
Mr.
right?
Farlin
We're gonna be
made
going
that
for a while.
competitive. The take was perfect, but the hold was just disjointed.
I think we're fine.
The pressure may be getting to them in those moments, and well, thankfully they have got Magnum to drag them kicking and screaming. Bear in mind, he was on the other side of the map. Bear in mind, they were so far
Yampy, you're
down
coming to
well.
Toronto, right?
The
Oh, Yampy,
stress,
Slig, I mean.
the sleepless nights.
Toronto? I'm
They
not
are
sure.
all building to moments like
I'm not
these.
sure.
12 and 12.
If they ask me, I'll go.
Of course we went to overtime, of course. Well, Sue said
I'm
it
not
as well.
going
We
out my
learned
way, though,
yesterday,
to
yeah,
ask.
that's
That's the
always
thing.
gonna happen. She
You know
has
me,
the
I like
script.
staying home.
I think she even writes it.
Magnum, he's been
I'll ask
moving
them to
around
ask
this
you.
map all
Yeah, okay.
alone. But not all who wander are lost. He has been paving the way for BBL. They get an overtime as a
Last
result,
time
and
they-
now he'll be point of contact.
Okay,
They've stepped up to
they
the
don't
plate,
remember.
but it's Magnum
Because Magnum
who's
already
hitting
killed
it
someone like
again
this.
and again.
Yeah, yeah.
He's got himself one. The second, though, proves to
Didn't
be
even-
too much.
didn't even
I think it was
consider
like
it.
Dealing with
second
them early
round or
on,
something,
and a new
so
hero
I guess one
needs to
time
be
ago.
found for BBL.
He's been spotted under serious pressure, but it's only going to be the trade. Propek still here, needs at least one, and that's what's found. But the trades
Everything
again from
traded.
FUT are sublime, immediate in their nature.
Dash, recon.
Now the remaining
If
players
Mr.
are
Fallon
very
gets a
far
kill, it's
away.
pretty much the round done because he'll get
Turkish members left on
he'll
this
get ult.
Turkish organization, Sociable and Levin, looking to try and give BBL the lead.
Trip broken behind. And the response from FUT is to go pushing deep into the spawn. It's
Big
Yedoje
kill.
dropping 11. Now they've
Yeah,
got
and
the
they know where he is
information
because
to
it
play
breaks
with.
the trip.
They also
They were
planted
12 and 10.
Time's insanely
Multiple
low. Good plan for them,
match
yeah.
point or map points, I should say. And now it seems like they'll have another. The plant is perfect. The cam spotting him. And already the diffuse halfway, but pressure not really on. with
Dude, look at the
bodies
guy just
still
checking him on the camera the whole
reveal.
time.
Still there. Desperately close in the end, but time had already ticked away.
Dude's just
FUT
watching him on the camera
and
like,
another
well.
opportunity to close out BBL's map pick. A map we have not seen much from FUT, and in fact, where BBL... All right, where BBL absolutely trashed Team Liquid 13-4, FUT, well, they received a 13-4 in the other direction. Seems like they've learned a lot since then.
It's safe to say, though, both teams were definitely proving more prominent on this attack side.
Heavy A. They're
It
gonna
might be the
try to
first,
set
but
up
as
Zeus
we've
again
seen
on that
before,
box, I think.
Getting the advantage in overtime
this is
between
solid.
these two teams means absolutely nothing. Once more, we see that aggression from Zeus, taking full A control, and the B take being attempted. The paranoia, the stuns are good, but nobody caught.
Oh, wait. Oh, he got a kill before he went down. Damn, it's mad trades again. Big kill chip, I think, just Red Magnum.
And now they look to play together.
Maybe not, maybe that's just straight up
He
duel.
went back.
Oh,
yeah.
Eyes now drawn in other directions.
That wasn't even a kill
Perhaps
trip,
an
it's just
opening
straight
for
up
Zeus to
duel.
walk up behind players left of no
I mean, this
traps
should be
to
it,
play
but we
with.
saw a 2v4 earlier, so you never know.
Sociable. Shock darts, recons regenerating. Yumpy's got a flash. It looks like they might get a little bit aggressive. Tap on the spike. Both players split too. Ultimately,
I mean, it's all
they're
in
not looking
individuals
to
now.
take this site
of
just
BBL.
yet. In fact, we may see them wrap all the way around. Right now, it's an information finding game, and FUT are giving nothing away.
They're desperately trying to work out where these players are coming from, and FUT have just
I mean, he
taken
cleared all the
time
spawn,
to
though.
group up
They kind of
into
know
a
the
unit.
garage or C-Long.
Take this as 3, and BBL have got nothing of what they
Yeah,
wanted.
because
They
it's
were
done.
hoping to be given a fight, and eventually
Here
they
we go,
find it.
Yumpy.
But
Let's
it's
see
now
it.
left all onto the leader. Yumpy, in an attempt to try
I
and
think he
save
picked
them.
a bit too
The man
early.
who has brought BBL
Ah,
to the
dude,
playoffs
Yeta
now
J's
has to
own
try
this.
and do that little bit more, and he's got a player coming up behind
Yeah,
him, and
Yeta J did great to do this.
A map on paper that
Ooh.
looked like it was
I mean,
BBL's
BBL
to
did good to
lose.
get us to overtime, I feel like,
With
considering that they only got 4
surprise.
rounds on
When we saw
defense.
this veto, Tom, I was certain we would go all the way to Ascent, but seeing FUT pick up that opening map, now that casts a bit